twice to return. We ask that no one stand in the walkways. You'll block the view of others. No umbrellas or tents are to be set up in front of the press box area. And Kanawha County Board of Education prohibits the use of alcohol and tobacco, smoking or smokeless on all county school board properties. And now for the starting lineups. First, the George Washington Patriots starting defense. Defensive tackle number 32, Grant Plants. The nose tackle number 52, Amari Brown. Defensive tackle number 78, Anthony Casto. At inside linebacker number 40, Heath McCormick. Outside linebacker number 31, Kyle Matthews. Inside linebacker number 13, Clay Matthews. Outside linebacker number 21, Peyton Coulter. Strong safety number 10, Hayden Hatfield. Strong safety number 4, Cam Reed. At the corner, number 3, Taryn Fitzpatrick. At corner, number 12, Anthony Valentine. And now for the Red Dragons starting offense. Tackle, number 68, Evan Roy. At guard, number 52, Cam Wells. At center, number 56, Isaac Murphy. At guard, number 53, Ashton Spangler. At tackle, number 70, Cooper Polly. Receiver number 2, Mike Heineman. Receiver number 9, Ruben Johnson. Receiver number 3, Chris Hall. Tight end number 13, Justice Warner. Running back number 22, Rocco Fry. Running back number 44, Elijah Edge. And the quarterback, number 7, Peyton Brown.
Now he's taking law classes. This is amazing. From the time that you walk in to the time that you leave, you agree with the science. From your front office to your clinicians to your doctors. They make you feel like you're the most important person in the world. It's not just a clinic. They feel as though that they're the only thing that matters. People, and we look forward every day to seeing that smile on someone's face at the end of their treatment.
The reason that we provide so many extensive services is there is not a one-size-fits-all type of treatment. We want to provide what's best for the individual patient. Every single patient gets a customized treatment plan with the best possible treatment modality for their case.
We have the most qualified doctors and staff here. We always work together to see that our patients leave here with a smile on their face, and that at the end of the treatment, they know that they can live life smiling.
I really love being an orthodontist. I love my job.
Silence in honor of Nevaeh Summers. And now, please direct your attention to the end zone as we release balloons once again in honor of the life of the beautiful Nevaeh Summers. Now please remain standing and direct your attention to the Seventh High School Marine Corps Junior ROTC under the direction and leadership of Colonel Ferguson and First Sergeant Mocchio as they present to you the colors as our Red Dragon, under the direction of Mr. Andrew Martin, will lead us in the playing of our national anthem.
Let's welcome to the field the Patriots from George Washington High School. Officials for tonight's contest: the referee, Mark Witt; umpire, Mark Phillips; the line judge, Mike Brown; linesman, John Raby; field judge, Tom Butcher; and the side judge, Chad Barker.
happy to have you along with us this evening for the first game in the state of West Virginia for the 2021 season. It's GW and St. Albans, and Dana, I know we're all just happy to be back for another football game in the state of West Virginia.
Oh, yes, we are. We just came. You were joining us down there on the Dutch Miller tailgate show, and yeah, just the excitement, the energy building up in the atmosphere here. And now we've got, the bleachers are filling up and fireworks going off, bands are playing, cheerleaders are out there. Football is back in West Virginia.
It feels like a Friday night, but we're here on a Thursday night, a special night to kick off the 2021 season, again between the George Washington Patriots and the St. Albans Red Dragons. The Patriots come into tonight's game after a really rather sour taste in their mouth at the end of the 2020 season. I think a lot of teams had a sour taste in their mouth the way 2020 went with the COVID of it all and everything. We won't dwell too much on that. I think everybody's dwelt on that for the last 18 months or so. But 62-0 loss for the Patriots in the playoffs at Martinsburg to end the year. But a team that comes back this year ready to go again for 2021.
Yeah, and I don't think that 62-0 loss is real indicative of a true GW team. And you know that. I know that. We've seen them around here in the Kanawha Valley. And those guys typically, Coach Edwards has them ready to play, give in and get out. And this is a team that not too far long ago was playing for a state championship in Wheeling. So this is a program, as we said down at the tailgate show, as St. Albans playing them, this becomes a signature game for them because you measure your season. Hey, if you can play with or beat GW, you're probably looking at playoff potential.
And on the to mention the Red Dragons, they come into tonight's contest after a really great start to last year. Started hot, 2-0 right out of the gate, beat crosstown rival Nitro, knock off Capital for the first time in 20 tries, and then things just kind of fell apart a little bit there.
That's
at the
right.
end.
Well, they actually ran into what was eventually named the state champion AAA Black Eagles at South Charleston, I think, in that third game, and that's when the reality started setting in. For both the team and maybe their fans. And, but St. Albans, I think this is one of those schools I know in this area of the state you look at, and I think Riverside's another one, and you think, why haven't they had more success than they've had? I mean, it seems like they should have the numbers, they should have the athletes. It should be there, but it just hasn't happened. And so you keep looking. You expect at some point they're going to break this thing, and they're going to be dangerous.
Yeah, this is a St. Albans team that is coming with the head coach into his fourth season at the helm of this program, Nick Watts, a St. Albans alum, played at this field. Well, not on this field exactly because it was grass back then. It's now a brand new turf field here at Crawford Field. But he played on this team from 2003 to 2006, so he knows what it felt like to be there and watch a turnaround happen because he was part of a turnaround when he was here as a player.
Right.
And now this in year 4 is kind of where you expect things to start coming together as a head coach.
That's true. As we see down on the field there, it looks like coin toss. It looks like the Red Dragons won the toss and elected to receive the ball here on the opening kickoff. And they will defend the east goal. This field kind of runs east-west here along the Kanawha River. And, I mean, it sits right on the banks of the Kanawha River. You can almost throw a rock out of that end zone or a football over there into the river.
Yeah, and it's an absolutely gorgeous place to call a game from. The sun setting over the stadium and the west side of the stadium. You've got the river there to the north. Got the bridge here right behind us in the press box. I mean, it's just picturesque right now.
Yeah, you can almost pass a hot dog out of the concession stand onto the people coming off that ramp of the bridge behind us. It's just really tucked in here into the city, and it's just one of those unique fields. There's no track, as you can see down there around this field. I mean, the bleachers, the fans are right down on the sidelines, so if they've got something to scream or yell at the officials, they're going to probably hear it.
Patriots, the road team tonight, in the road whites with the maroon numbers, maroon and white pants for the Patriots with the silver helmet, and the maroon GW interlocking on the side of the lid for the Pats. For the Red Dragons, it's black tops, black bottoms with the red numbers outlined in white for St. Albans. The Naval Academy style designed helmet. I love that South Charleston and St. Albans have gone to that helmet style. It is absolutely gorgeous, with the white half top, a red stripe, and then a black stripe on the back of the Red Dragons helmet, and then a interlocking SA in chrome red on the side. A sharp look tonight for the Red Dragons, but you got to wonder, with that sun finally starting to go down, how hot is it going to be out there for those players in the all black with this turf, especially? We know it's a lot hotter on turf than it is on grass.
And we're underway.
Yeah,
Picked
Red
up
Dragons
there.
fielded over on the far sideline. It'll be scooped up.
Like number 44 for the Red Dragons.
Yeah, that's Elijah Edge, their big defensive man for this St. Albans football team. Also a big-time wrestler, 22-0 undefeated state champ last year for the Red Dragons at the 182-pound weight class.
And for the Patriots, it looked like Landon Parker there, a freshman in on that tackle there coming back up the field. And he'll stay in the contest for the Patriots.
So the Red Dragons will start off with the football. 1st and 10 from their own 41-yard line after about an 11-yard return there from Elijah Edge. Ball on the far side hash mark. It'll be a shotgun set for the Red Dragons. 2 receivers to the wide side of the field. That's the near side. 1 split out to the far side wide. Sophomore quarterback Peyton Brown looking over at head coach Nick Watts for the signal. 5 seconds on the play clock as he takes a snap, throws the ball across the middle, and it's picked off. Intercepted there by Kyle Matthews. Matthews snares it right out of the air. It's like it was thrown to him, and he takes it up across the 40-yard line, down inside the 35, and it'll be 1st and 10 Patriots after 1 play on offense for the Red Dragons, and an interception turns it over.
Just sitting right there in the zone, and hey, look here, the ball come right to you, and just a little gift there. And so all of a sudden, the Patriots in business in Dragon territory.
He and his brother, Lincoln County transfers for this Patriots squad. And out comes Abe Fenwick, the sophomore quarterback for the Patriots, getting his first action of the year. Takes the snap, the southpaw hands it off up the middle to Keegan Sack. Sack breaks out of a couple of would-be tackles, gets inside the 30, and he'll be brought down just shy of the 25-yard line at the 26. A nice 5-yard pickup there on 1st and 10 for the freshman tailback.
Yeah, just a little bit off that left tackle there. They get inside the tackles. I think GW just trying to fill it out right now. And, 5 yards on 1st down, that's pretty good positive yardage here.
Haston Pinkerton now in the backfield for the Patriot offense. Missed all of last season after a season-ending injury in practice before the first game of the year last year.
Yeah,
Senior
Pinkerton, the Sissonville boy.
Yeah, takes the first handoff here of 2020 for him, and he'll be brought down after about a yard gain, maybe a half yard, but he'll get down to the 25-yard line. So they'll give him 1 officially, and it'll bring up 3rd and 4.
You talked about the transfers from Lincoln County. We see Pinkerton originally from Sissonville, and GW, a lot of people think, they go out and recruit those players. No, they don't. They don't have to. We were up there at GW. These players, it's a centrally located school here in Kanawha Valley. It's one of the easiest ones if you're trying to drop off your child from school, pick them up and things. And so it just happens to be the one that gets the most transfers.
On 3rd and 10, play blown dead before the snap can come back to Fenwick in the shotgun. I believe that's going to be an illegal procedure against the Patriots. Back them up 5. Yes, it will. It'll back the Patriots up to the 30-yard line, bring up 3rd down and 9 now. Not quite a minute and a half into the opening game of 2021. Happy to have you with us here this evening on Game Day, presented by HD Media on RSN Sports.
Yeah, that partnership with HD Media we have now with RSN, it's just been fantastic here and be able to bring these games to you because this is just one of 2 or 3 we're going to bring this weekend.
Fenwick with a nice throw across over the far side of the field. That's caught out there by Teran Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick will be right around the 1st down marker.
I just went out there in the flat, turned the hook, and the ball was there. Right, nice throw, nice catch. And they're going to be, just short of
going to be about a half yard, about a full yard shy. It'll bring up 4th and 1 for the Patriots. Going to bring a heavy set back in the backfield now. Kyle Matthews, the stand-up tailback, and then also here. Heath McCormick and Grant Plant standing in front of him. Handoff goes to Matthews. He's the 3rd man through the hole. Breaks out of one tackle, breaks out of another, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Patriots.
Matthews looking like that back that GW really been looking for a couple of years that just kind of can break those tackles, just runs with momentum, shoulders down, and dares you to come at him.
Matthews there from 22 yards out, puts the Patriots on top 6-0. Extra point on the way from Rylan Moorhead, the junior soccer player turned kicker for the Patriots. And before the kick can officially happen, we have the play blown dead. It was good on the kick by Rylan Moorhead, and he's got some pretty big shoes to fill, Dana, with Michael Hughes, the former kicker, now kicking for Appalachian State, who is coached by a former GW player and Scott Clark.
That's correct. Yeah, in the Mountaineers were up at Marshall University last year, and remember that very close game back and forth.
It was a fantastic game.
And Marshall has to go back there this year, speaking of that game, and return that. So that's going to be a tough game for the Herd.
Grant Wells, quarterback for the Marshall Thundering Herd, former GW quarterback as well.
A lot of connections there.
Snap is back, the kick is up, and it is good this time again from Ryland Moorhead. Patriots take a 7-0 lead. A little more than 2 minutes into this ball game. We've got our first points on the scoreboard for 2021.
Absolutely. We've got our first touchdown of the 2021 season in high school football in West Virginia. And by the way, this first quarter action brought to you by Todd Judy Ford. They just came on board here with us at RSN Sport AC Media. Going to be a great sponsor. They're actually, Adam, going to sponsor the student section awards that we do on RSN every week. We announce those on Mondays, and they'll be printed in the paper on Tuesday. But they're going to put some money behind that and actually make some awards for these schools and make that a real thing. So it was already competitive. You're just putting gasoline on the fire if you do that. So
yeah, I remember I saw the preseason student section rankings, and I have to say, as a GW alum, I was a little hurt not to see the Patriots. They've fallen off, it seems like, in the time that I was there about 11 years ago.
But
now.
I can tell you on preseason, there's some schools that year. I can name them off the top of my head. Parkersburg South is one of them. John Marshall High School up there in that area in AAA. I'm just trying to think of the AAA ones that are just there year in and year out. And so they're going to get the nod in the preseason. But, hey, I can see across the way there, GW crowd looks like they're having a blackout tonight over there in the GW student section. So they brought it. But thank you, Todd Judy. Cameraman's going to see. There you go. You see the
the Patriot Pack. We need them back in full force.
There you go. What's that? Your mom called. You left your game at home. Okay. So that's the kind of stuff, and it's just good fun for the student section, and anybody can be involved in that. That's the great thing about it. So we thank Todd Judy for that. First quarter action also brought to you by Ben Slango Law. So we want to thank him for stepping up. He's an annual partner here with HD Media and RSN Sports.
Second kickoff for Moorhead is away. This one a much deeper kick back inside the 10. That one is fielded by the Red Dragons and smothered after a return of just a few yards.
Tag number 17. Make that 12.
Couldn't quite tell who that was number-wise for the Red Dragons.
And for the Patriots on that tackle, I show Anthony Valentine at number 12 and 17, Cameron Reed. But wow, yeah, that was one of those, it's like, hello there. So they'll be starting inside of their 20 at looks like the 13-yard line.
We started at the 14, actually. Moved it up a yard.
Okay.
So first and 10 from the 14. Ball right in the middle of the field as the sun starts to go behind some clouds here at Crawford Field.
Second play from scrimmage for the Dragons.
Yeah, first play ended in an interception. This time the Red Dragons start to drive off with a handoff, sweep outside, and trying to stretch it out there. And wrapped up after a very short gain was Elijah Edge carrying the ball for the Red Dragons.
Fitzpatrick on that tackle. Just followed the ball out there and just couldn't get it outside.
Edge, the stud defensive player for the Red Dragons, playing some offense this year for St. Albans.
Loss of 3.
Yeah, but drop him back to the 11-yard line. Ball on the near side hash mark now.
Yeah, the Dragons just need something. They need we've had 2 negative plays from scrimmage to start the game. They need something positive to happen here.
Peyton Brown in the shotgun, Kanawha Valley Rookie of the Year last year. Dancing around, rolling to his left, escapes some pressure, but he'll be dragged down from behind there. Kyle Matthews to make another play for that Patriot defense. Got the interception, had the touchdown to put the Pats on top, and he gets another great tackle there for loss.
Adam, he got the old-fashioned shirt tackle. They went to breakaway jerseys, and then they got these skin-tight jerseys, but somehow he found enough material there to grab onto.
He slings him down for a loss back inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. It'll set up third down and 18 for the Red Dragons. What do you draw up in the playbook here?
Well, I think you just want positive yardage. Like I said, we've had 3 plays from scrimmage, and all 3 of them have been an interception and 2 negative yardage plays. So they just need some positive, even if they have to punt afterward, they just need something positive to happen.
Handoff goes to Edge again, and Edge met in the backfield. Smothered there. Anthony Casto helping lead the charge for the Patriot defense, but we do have some laundry on the field after the whistles.
Yeah, that doesn't happen in a good area if you're GW.
Personal foul against the Patriots, and yeah, that's definitely not what you want. You get a big stop there, would have brought up 4th down. Now you give them free yardage.
Well, it wasn't the positive thing that Red Dragons were looking to have, but they're going to take that right now. That'll get them out of this hole because, I mean, GW was pushing them back down into their own goal line here, and that'll give them some breathing room and a first down. So first down of the game for the Red Dragons. And we'll see. Can they take that and do something with it here?
No, that's actually going to be 4th down. The penalty happened after the play.
You're correct.
So they're just marching the 15 up, so that will make it 4th and 2. But the Red Dragons going to send out the punt team.
Yeah, I think the way things have been going on offense, I think, okay, let's just push the ball downfield.
Elijah Edge handling the punting duties for the Red Dragons tonight. Takes the snap, gets it away end over end. Take a bounce at the 45, and St. Albans skip down into GW territory. A nice bounce for Elijah Edge, all the way down to the 31-yard line. A heck of a kick there after the bounce.
Yeah, I'm trying to get that number. That's 37 to the 41. That's 37 yards, another 19. Yeah, 48 yards. Looks
Wow,
like
15 of that came on the bounce.
Yeah. So great job there, and something positive for St. Albans that they needed here. And let's just see if they can stop the Patriots on this first series.
And now we'll see what the Patriots do with a wider field to play with here. A different quarterback now in the game for the Patriots. Noah Velatambi out at quarterback, the freshman, 6', 190. Brings the man in motion. That's Kyle Matthews. He'll line up as a wing tight end to the right of the formation. Handoff goes up the middle to Keegan Sack. Sack trying to sweep it out to the right, extends it over to the sideline. He's met by a couple of St. Albans players, and he'll be finally forced out of bounds as he crosses the 35-yard line up to the 36. Edge there helping make the tackle, as was Jace Withrow. And seeing the helmet fly off of Rocco Fry there and at the end as well. Linebackers making a big play.
Tough 4-yard. There was more grabbing of jerseys there, and finally wrestled him out of bounds.
They're going to move it up to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, looks like it'll be a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, give them a 5-yard gain now. They love moving that ball on us, don't they? Two receivers split out to the near side of the formation. That's the short side of the field for the Patriots. One receiver lined up on the hash mark to the wide side of the field. And a false start going to be called on the Patriots. It's now 2 penalties on GW on offense.
First game of the year, and you expect this out of a lot of teams. And like I said, that fully expect probably before halftime to see some cramping come up on either team. But the penalties and mistakes are going to be there.
Another quarterback change. Again, Abe Fenwick back in for Velatambi. 4 receivers set for the Patriots here, 2 to each side of the formation. Near side, 2 freshmen, Hunter Giacomo and Tyshawn Dews. But before the Patriots can get a playoff, play is blown dead as the Patriots call a timeout and are granted one with 6:09 to go here in the first quarter. Patriots leading 7-0.
Yeah, so this is so far, it's been a heavily GW tilt in terms of play, but due to a couple of mistakes, St. Albans now really, if they can hold here, try to get settled in, I think, Adam, and then turn it into a game.
And with the Patriots, the dominance up front was almost to be expected coming in when you look at the beef there for the Patriots this year. This is a much beefier front line for this George Washington offense than it has been in the last couple of years.
Absolutely. They've got it up front, and you've seen that there in the first drive, and just ran between the tackles a couple times, and it resulted in a touchdown.
So the Patriots going to try and insert that dominance up front, establish that line of scrimmage, and run the football. That's something we really haven't seen a lot out of this Patriot offense the last couple of years. Even going back to Grant Wells' time as a Patriot quarterback, a lot of passing there, a lot of passing the last 2 years with R.T. Alexander. That running game looks pretty good so far.
Absolutely. We're back to action. You're watching high school football on the RSN Sports Network. Powered by HD Media.
Nice throw on a comeback route to Teran Fitzpatrick. He'll scrape out a one tackle at the 50, get into St. Albans territory across the 40, and he's brought down inside the 35-yard line. Another nice hook up there for the Patriots.
And a great route and catch, and then there's the yak. The yards after catch he was able to pick up there, probably an extra 15 yards or maybe 20 after that catch, and move the ball down inside the 35-yard line. First down.
40-yard pickup there on that play.
So the Patriots back on the move again here. They're up 7-0 here in the first quarter. First high school football game of the year. Action being brought to you by Dutch Miller Auto Group and Thomas Health Systems.
Fenwick in the shotgun, takes the snap, hands off to the back. Sack running off the left tackle.
Oh, ball's loose.
Yeah, he went down to the ground. They're going to come over from the far side and say he was down. That ball did pop out as he was coming to the ground. Patriots getting lucky break there.
Yeah, I think that was a close one, but I think that was the correct call.
Sack going to head over to the sideline real quick, have a quick talk just to probably try to keep his spirits up more than anything. Hate to think he may have potentially cost him a chance there, and always want to try to keep those younger players up when a bad play happens. Second down now for the Patriot offense. Spread formation. Fitzpatrick comes in motion, and the play blown dead. A false start against GW again. A little jitters there for the boys in
penalty
white.
number 3, and it's up to 25 yards in penalties here in the first quarter.
So back GW up now. Second down and long. Make it it'll be a second and 12 officially, or a long 11, whichever way you want to cut it. Patriots on top by a touchdown, and another flag comes out, and here's another false start on the Patriots. I believe that one's going to be on the junior Lath Ganem over there, the left tackle, moving a little bit early.
It's 4 for 30 yards now. There's camera zooms in over there on the GW sideline. Coach Smith over there. He looks a little as Coach Smith can look, and that situation got to be frustrating. But I think they understand. This is the first quarter of the first game of the year.
Fenwick dropping a pass out for a screen to Pinkerton, and Pinkerton drops it at the 41-yard line. That'll fall incomplete. Bring up third down and long now for the Patriots. Pretty good coverage there on that screen.
Yeah, he tried to do, the defender was actually between him and the receiver, and threw his hand up, and he tried to drop that pass, wasn't your typical screen pass. So it made it a little bit more difficult over the shoulder kind of catch. So to his fairness, that wasn't an easy as catch as it may have looked on your screen.
That was Cam Wells getting back there on the coverage for the Red Dragons as Fenwick drops back to pass. The southpaw dropping one deep over the far sideline, trying to hook up with Hayden Hatfield, and just overthrew him a couple of steps too far for the intended target there, the junior wideout for the Patriots.
Yeah, that sideline route down there, and nice throw. He took a little hit there after the throw, too. Had to pay for that one. But here we go. Now you got a fourth down situation, fourth and long. Looks like the Patriots are going to hunt the ball. So what we said, St. Albans needed to get a stop. I got a little help with the penalties, but that's okay. Right now, get a stop, get the ball, and have some positive things happen here in the first quarter.
High snap, but pulled down easily by Moorhead. Gets a nice, clean side kick away, and a fair catch called for by St. Albans inside the 15. That was Michael Hindman fielding that punt, and the Red Dragons will start off this next drive inside their own 15 for the second time in a row.
First quarter action being brought to you here on RSN Sports Network, powered by HD Media, by Poca Valley Banks and Parmar Stores. The Parmar Store's been with us for quite a while, and I tell you what, there's one just down at the bottom of the hill there at South Charleston High on Chestnut Street, and they have the best deli there. If you want to get some fried catfish, that's the place to be.
They always have ice-cold beverages, too.
Oh, don't say that right. I'm telling you, I would die right now for some water.
And pass thrown, caught on the
catch.
near sideline. That's Cam Calloway breaking down the near sideline. Finally brought down from behind across midfield and into Patriot territory.
There's that big play we were talking about that the Red Dragons were looking for. For the first time tonight, they are in GW territory. 13, 37, 42 yard completion there. Just like the GW Patriot defender tried to make a play on the ball, and that's the gamble you take.
Patriots got lucky on the opening drive of the Red Dragons, picked it off, and then had a couple of plays to go down and punch it in and take the 7-0 lead. But now the Red Dragons finally across midfield on their third drive of the game in the opening quarter. Under 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Throw over to the near side looking for Reuben Johnson. That pass way too high for him, and coverage there was Anthony Valentine for the Patriots.
Yeah, coming back the same direction there and see if they can pick up a few easy ones. Quick off the snap, but in one play there, they gained back everything off that punt exchange and more. So, like I said, looking for something positive here. I know a couple of times, I know that big line, and I'm sure that the St. Albans coaching staff is watching, but you haven't seen them really try anything inside the tackles yet on offense.
Quick throw out to the far side.
Everything has, you can see, either run or swing the passes to the outside.
Trying to get that speed out there away from the big boys inside, because the one time they did try to go inside, it was the second play of the game, and it was about a 3-yard loss because they got clogged up.
So yeah, that's just not an area that they understand that they're going to have a lot of success, so they're just going to play the edges. So third down.
And after the incompletion, trying to throw it out on a screen play to Warner out on the flats. 3rd and 10. Stop clock. Trips out to the far side of the formation. Ball on the near side hash mark. And it'll be a dump back over to Edge. And Edge brought down for a loss in the backfield. Coming up with that tackle is the linebacker Peyton Coulter. We do have some flags on the field. We'll wait to find out what those are for before the result of the play.
Adam, I really thought he was going to try to keep the ball there. I thought he had a hole there that he could have actually had some positive yardage, but he pitched it out there and tossed it back out. They're again trying to get to the outside, but I thought the seam was up the middle there.
It was a very, very risky play there from Peyton Brown, the sophomore quarterback for the Red Dragons. Because like you said, I thought he had that seam, and he obviously saw somebody step up and fill when maybe somebody was a step further back than he thought they were.
Both teams tonight already living on the edge here with some of this play calling. So now, but if they can get a nice punt off here, and he obviously last time it was a punt, I think over 50 yards. If he can get it down there, he can pin GW back deep in their territory. But that's not going to be, that's off the side of his foot.
Yeah, he didn't get a good kick on that one. A nice rush there by the Patriots on that punt. And the Patriots will start with this football.
Not going to be happy with himself. They always say in sports, you're only as good as your last play. The punt before that, it was like, wow. And this one here, just got off the side of his foot. I'm sure he'll bounce back here, and I think he's got a lot of potential, punting that ball.
Fortunately for Elijah Edge, he does a little bit of everything, so he doesn't have a lot of time to dwell on those mistakes. But he's got to get ready to go for the next one. He's already back out there ready to go for this defensive series for the Red Dragons.
And a guy like that's the one you probably expect first. If they're going to cramp up, that's where you're going to see it at.
Fenwick under center, a power I formation, handoff to Kyle Matthews. Matthews rumbles for a first down and then some. He's across midfield and into St. Albans territory, out inside the 45-yard line, and we've got more flags on the field.
Flag down. But that play has been there all night so far, and we're just young into this game here, and it's just between the tackles, run him off that left side, and he's just a bull of a back. He's going to make his way through there and pick you up positive yardage.
Patriots just putting hat on a hat and moving the pile forward for that big first down gain. Again, waiting to find out what the penalty is.
And Adam, that's not typical GW football. They like to move the ball around, and they've shown here that they still will. They're, don't think for a minute just because they've got a power back like that they're going to rest on that.
That real power back offense kind of went away the days of when, right around the time Ryan Switzer got to GW, it seemed like. Started spreading it out a little bit more and opening up that offense and letting it flourish a little bit more.
Well, you think, you go back here, and Stevie Edwards Jr. here actually, Steve Edwards Sr. was still on the sideline during that era there when Switzer was there calling plays. And so nobody liked to probably air the ball out more than Steve Edwards Sr. So a lot of discussion here after that flag. I'm not sure we're going to – looks like that may have happened after the play again.
I think they're trying to discuss that to figure out exactly what should be the down and distance here. Because currently they've marked it as a first down. So that would lead to believe that it did happen after the play. They've moved the chains.
I think unofficially that's 6 penalties here in the first half on the Patriots. They've been their own worst enemy.
Instead of the Patriots having the ball 1st and 10 in the St. Albans territory, they're just outside of midfield. Handoff goes to Sack. He'll run off the right side, trying to cut up on the inside the hash mark and be forced back in and
wrestle down.
Up,
yeah, Red Dragon's done a great job of plugging up inside the tackles. He had to bounce that outside, and then good pursuit out there. So good job by the St. Albans defense there.
Now Sack going to check out. In comes Anthony Valentine. A revolving door of running backs for the Patriots tonight. Expect 4 or 5, maybe 6 guys to carry the rock this evening. Second down for GW from the Red Dragon 49-yard line. Fenwick drops back to pass, has a man wide open. Teran Fitzpatrick catches it inside the 20 and strolls his way into the end zone for another Patriot touchdown.
Just like that, just like we said, just big plays tonight, Adam. I mean, you think, okay, a play here, a little run play here, and a penalty, and then all of a sudden a big play. We've seen it from both teams here tonight. But it's the Patriots that are capitalizing, and they go up 2 touchdowns.
49-yard strike from Fenwick to Fitzpatrick, and the Patriots lead 13-0. Extra point on the way from Ryland Moorhead.
Extra point. Kick is up through the uprights.
So the Patriots take a 14-0 lead, 2:05 left to go here in the first quarter. We'll step aside for a quick break and then be right back here with more Game Day on RSN Sports Network, powered by HD Media.
What started as the Parmar Oil Company in 1967 has grown into 116 convenience stores in 4 states. Parmar convenience stores offer monthly product specials and grab-and-go items. Located just down the street from where you live, Parmar stores are all about being your above-par convenience store. If you don't have a Parmar store near you now, you will soon. Parmar Convenience Stores, neighbors serving your community and making life a little bit easier every day.
Back here at Crawford Field, happy to have you along with us this evening here on Game Day, presented by HD Media on the RSN Sports Network. Adam Rogers, Dana Farrell, happy to have you with us this evening for the first West Virginia high school football game of the 2021 season. I can't be happier enough to be back, Dana. I know you're excited to be back as well.
Other than the fact it's 90 degrees in the press box. But,
that heat index of about 100 today was.
And they're running Parmar commercials that make me just want a big old Biggie Coke. So, hey, but that's okay. We're here, like you said, it's football. It's high school football here in West Virginia. And Patriots, wow, great kick there off second TD.
Yeah, great overhand.
He's not down yet. He's going to reverse it back.
Yeah, somehow stays alive over on the far sideline. Michael Hindman caught it inside the 10.
Like John Getz finally caught up with him for the Patriots out there. If Getz doesn't get him, he may have the outside over here. I get Hunter Glaucoma, I'm sorry on that. Yeah, if he doesn't get him. Yeah, he's off to the races out here on the outside again.
So again, for the 3rd straight drive now, the Red Dragons will start inside their own 20-yard line. Patriots doing a really good job on kick coverage, whether it be kickoff or after having to punt that one time.
Absolutely, Adam, and that's just tough, when you're at a disadvantage helmet to helmet anyhow in this, and so you want to have some breaks and hopefully get some big plays and start your drives in a better position than that.
Under center for the first time tonight go the Red Dragons, and it's blown up in the backfield. Handoff goes to Fry. And
Anthony Casta just blew through. Was waiting on him when he got there.
He carved up the St. Albans offensive line like it was a Thanksgiving dinner.
And if you can look on your screen there in the center, Casto, number 78, he's just a hoss. He's going to come through. He's going to be tough to block.
One of the players to watch out for on this Patriot offensive and defensive line. He is a force to be reckoned with. All-state honorable mention last year.
6'4" defensive lineman here, senior.
And a flag flies before the play is blown by, snapped rather, by the Red Dragons. Stop the clock with 1:12 to go here in the opening quarter.
Wave this off.
Yep, gonna wave it off. I wasn't really sure what. I didn't see anybody move. The clock hadn't.
At this point, Adam, I mean, for all of the struggles that St. Albans has had in the first half, I don't think they've had a penalty. So they've all been against GW.
2nd and 17 now after a 7-yard loss on the opening play of the drive.
More movement there.
And now the old broadcaster's jinx. There it goes. I'm just glad it was you for the first time tonight, not me. Usually I'm the one that gets bit by it.
Oh, gee. So they were struggling to play before they got a mulligan, and they still got struggled there on the second time out. So they're going to get.
Yeah, that's what rank it. 2nd and 22 from the 5-yard line.
See these officials in tonight's game. You know, officials are actually in short supply around the state. So these guys come out here and they have to work in some tough environments, and they do a fantastic job and allow us to be able to play and enjoy the, as we said, high school football is alive and well here in West Virginia.
Under a minute in the opening quarter. Peyton Brown under center trying to draw the Patriots offside, and he gets them. And there's Anthony Casto jumping off. The big man tried everything in his power to hold back.
Yeah, we were just bragging on him, and I'm not sure balance beam is his sport. So he was struggled there, and once he got his weight forward, it wasn't coming back.
My man tried his hardest to hold that back and hold that water, but that'll make it 2nd and 17 again. Now it'll be snapped with under 30 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Peyton's going to roll out to the near side, and he slips up by the turf monster, trying to make some jukes. And Anthony DeValentine was the man closest to him in the area.
That's some positive yardage, but yeah, he probably could have had more if he could have got that outside, and that's where he was going for. But as you said, this turf, this is, I was asking you in the pregame here, I'm not sure if this is the first game on this turf. I'm not sure last season when it was installed if they were able to play on it or not. It has to be one of the first 2 games, if not the first, that St. Albans has played on their home turf.
Certainly first handful with the COVID-shortened year last year for the Red Dragons, like many teams.
Kanawha County had the turfs installed at all 8 high schools, and so there was a rotation that went, and certain schools got in first, and then it took like another year or 2 for other schools to get in. And I think Riverside was one of the first that got their turf, but I think St. Albans was one of the last for that to happen. I'm not sure they drew straws or anything here to figure that out, but what the rationale was, but they were the last to get that. But hey, it looks great. As you said, this is just such a great venue here.
Yeah, it's a fantastic place for a high school football game here in the Mountain State. And we're happy that you're joining us here this evening, watching tonight's broadcast on Game Day, presented by HD Media on the RSN Sports Network. And
yeah, just a great partnership, as I said. Yeah, working with HD Media, Charleston, Huntington, Williamson, Logan newspapers. This streamcast going out there, and of course RSN Sports, we're very strong up in the northern part of the state, the Panhandle, so this truly is a statewide broadcast.
The first quarter comes to a close and was brought to you by Todd Judy Ford. We appreciate them for sponsoring the first quarter for us. And we are going to take a quick break here on Game Day, presented by HD Media on the RSN Sports Network. We'll be right back for second quarter action right after this.
In the history of Dutch Miller Chevrolet, there has never been a better time to trade in your car. Because of major supply chain disruptions, your vehicle is worth more than it ever has been. Even if you're not looking to trade in your car, we're interested in buying your vehicle at up to 30% above fair market value. We have customers trading in their vehicles that are getting more now than they paid for it. Learn more and text or chat now at DutchMillerChevy.com.
Come check out the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles with friends and family pricing for everyone.
What started as the Parmar Oil Company in 1967 has grown into 116 convenience stores in 4 states. Parmar convenience stores offer monthly product specials and grab-and-go items. Located just down the street from where you live, Parmar stores are all about being your above-par convenience store. If you don't have a Parmar store near you now, you will soon. Parmar Convenience Stores, neighbors serving your community and making life a little bit easier every day.
And we're back here at Crawford Field for the opening game of the 2021 season for high school football. And the mountain state of West Virginia. You're watching it here on Game Day, presented by HD Media on the RSN Sports Network. Adam Rogers, Dana Farrell, happy to have you along with us this evening. However you may be tuned in to tonight's broadcast. We've got great sponsors helping us put this thing on tonight, Dana.
Absolutely.
The first quarter went off fantastically so far. We've got second quarter action ready to go.
And what a setting there you can kind of get if you're watching on your smart device or smart TV at home. You can kind of get a sense of the venue here at St. Albans Crawford Field, how it sits right in the hub of the business district here.
Yeah, you've got U.S. Route 60 running along the end zone.
I'll tell you an interesting story about Route 60 here in a minute, so as we get a moment.
We've got third
Red Dragons
and 15,
deep.
yeah, for the Red Dragons here inside their own 15. Brown hands off on a sweep to the outside. Patriots there to snuff it out again. Valentine helps make the stop initially.
Looks like the ball may have gotten loose there, but I think they're going to call him down.
They are going to say that he was down. That was edge on the sweep, and
another loss on the play.
Get far at all. The Patriots have been fantastic sniffing out those sweep plays tonight from the Red Dragons.
Yeah, they're coming in anytime like that trying to bounce it outside, but there's just nothing there. The guy, the Patriot defense is just rolling out there with them and getting that covered and ends up in a loss. And so now they've got to punt out of their own end zone. And again, for the Red Dragons,
the A.J. Adkins to punt it away. And almost got it blocked, but
he gets it out there and gets a good roll.
It'll take a skip and a roll all the way back, just shy of the 45 of the Red Dragons. They'll down it at their own 43, so GW with fantastic starting field position on their first drive here in the second quarter, already leading 2 touchdowns to none.
38-yard punt there by Atkins, and that's about really all you can ask him to do, punting deep out of his end zone there.
That's the best you can hope for in that case, especially with as much pressure it was coming up the middle there from the Patriots on that punt attempt.
Now, you're talking about Route 60 over here, and there's a story behind that Route 60. The famed Route 66, and all the movies, the songs, everything, stories about that. That actually was supposed to be named Route 60 out there, but that Route 60 had already been taken here for this road. So hence they went with 66, and then, of course, the rest is history.
Patriots have a bit of a mishap there. Velatambi, the freshman quarterback, in on that play, was trying to make a scramble out of the pocket, and as he did so, lost his footing a little bit, and his knee hit the turf, so he was ruled down automatically. This is not NFL football. Can't get back up again, obviously. So that is a loss there of 4 yards for the Patriots on the opening play of the drive. Back in is Abe Fenwick at quarterback for GW. Lefty scrambles to his right, steps up in the pocket and climbs. He's got yards in front of him, so he gets down inside the 40-yard line before he's finally dropped to the ground by Chris Hall.
Yeah, looks like maybe the Patriots got away with a hold there coming out on that pressure off the left side, but it was a no call, and he took advantage of it.
Good job by Fenwick there to feel that pressure coming off that outside edge. Fortunately, it was coming toward his side, and he was able to feel it and escape that and climb that pocket.
Turns it into positive yardage.
Sets up 3rd and short now for GW, and out comes that power I set.
Yeah, watch here for Matthews, and he's going to get the ball.
And handoff goes to Kyle Matthews. Matthews plunges his way down inside the 35. He'll have the first down and maybe an extra yard or 2 after that, depending on where they spot the ball. Right now they're marking him down at the 32, so he got just an extra yard to move the sticks, just what he needed.
Adam, it's kind of nice to know when you got a back in the backfield like that, you can just, you need some short, tough yards. It's just a go-to, and you got a front, and let's not take anything away from that front line of the Patriots. They're just making it happen. When they need to do it, they're happening.
They are dozing the front of the Red Dragons, creating that space for the backs for GW. Fenwick will line up under center again. Another power I formation for GW. Handoff goes to Kyle Matthews once more. He's straight up the gut, and he'll be brought down in the secondary as he gets into the second level at the 20, inside the 25-yard line.
Jason Adams on the stop there for the Red Dragons, and that's a tough tackle in the field like that. He's got to put his shoulder down, and he did the right thing. He hit him low.
So now out comes Kyle Matthews, checks out. In comes his younger brother, Clay Matthews, junior tailback.
Matthews and Matthews. going to get the law firm out here.
Handoff goes to Clay Matthews. He's going to bounce it wide to the right. Going to try to chase to the pylon. Does he get there? No, just shy. What a heck of a run there by Clay Matthews, the junior tailback, taking the sweep off.
A lot of speed there.
Got a 27-yard pickup. They mark him down at the 1-yard line.
Patriots threatened to go up 3 touchdowns here in the first half, and this is not something you want to see if you're a Red Dragon fan, because it really is going to be tough and insurmountable.
Power set again. Handoff goes to Clay Matthews. Matthews plunges across the goal line. Touchdown, Patriots.
And so there you have it. I mean, the Patriots go up to 3, as you say, and St. Albans, at this point, you really, as far as the coaching staff, the players, the team captains, you really got to keep your chin up. You got to really stay focused on your game plan and just start focusing on each particular series, each drive, and just say, hey, you know, we just got to take it one series, one play at a time.
Moorhead out to kick. He's up and is good.
21.
So Patriots lead 3 touchdowns to nothing. Here with 8:18 left to go in this second quarter. Second quarter is brought to you by Poca Valley Bank, another one of our fantastic sponsors for our broadcasts this evening, and we'll actually be in Poca tomorrow.
Poca.
We'll have Poca Nitro.
Valley Bank. I think they've got locations in Winfield, Poca. They're in Sissonville, right, my hometown. They're in Spencer, Walton area, Elkview, and those areas. And I think now they have a branch in the Charleston Town Center as well, so they're in Charleston. So a regional bank, but they pride themselves on just a personal relationships when you go there. They have all the automated stuff. You have the online banking and those things in there, but they also offer that personal, hey, I call up, hey, I need a favor, I need something, and that's where their strength is.
And that personal touch, they're going through a lot of the same things you're going through, if you think about it like that as well. Sometimes they feel the plight of the common man,
there you
compared
go.
to the big banks.
So, you know, we were just talking about the Matthews & Matthews, and it sounded like a law firm. Well, we've got 2 of them. Obviously, Webb Law Center is also a sponsor with us, and as is Ben Salango Law Firm. And both those guys very, very active in the community, especially with sports. So, wow.
Heck of a kickoff there from Moorhead as it goes back into the end zone for a touchback. And that'll give the Red Dragons 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
So we'll restart it here, like you said, probably that may be their best starting field position off of a kickoff yet.
Other than the opening kickoff, it was a short kickoff on that opening
That's
one.
correct.
But other than that, this is the best since the opening drive for the Red Dragons, and had a promising drive the last time out, had a really nice pickup on the first play, and then the drive kind of sputtered out.
Right, so you know, they need something big to happen here and just to get their mojo up. As I said, after that last touchdown, this is where you really kind of reach inside yourself and say, hey, you know, we're better than this. Let's work one play at a time.
Peyton Brown throws it out into the flats to the near sideline, completes it to his tight end, Justice Warner.
Yeah, nice little release there by Warner, and nice catch. Pass is a little high. He got up there and pulled it down. Nice little, looks like a 5-6 yard pickup.
He's got the mullet flowing out of the back of the helmet.
Oh, yeah.
Well, maybe not a mullet. That. Maybe it's not a mullet. It looks just like he's got long hair, but it definitely looks kind of like a mullet. I love those long-haired guys.
Yeah, I think somebody on social media put an all-mullet team together at the end of last basketball season down here.
2nd and 5, handoff up the middle goes nowhere as Anthony Casto, big man, gets there in a hurry to wrap up the freshman tailback Rocco Fry. Fry does gain a couple, though, as he'll actually gain just 1 as he gets across the 25 up to the 26, bring up 3rd down and 4.
But much more manageable now for the Red Dragons than the other situations they've been in here in the first half.
Playbook definitely a lot more wide open on 3rd and 4 than it is on some of the 3rd and 17s or just 3rd and longs that the Red Dragons have faced this evening. Sophomore Brown in the shotgun, takes the snap. It's a couple-step drop, throw out to the flat again, trying to find Cam Calloway this time, the man he hooked up with for about 50 yards the flash drive.
Had him there. He just a little too much mustard on that hot dog that time, and he just got outside of his wheelhouse there, but he completes that pass. It's probably a 1st down.
He just had one man to try to beat for the 1st down, Anthony Valentine. out there on the cornerback spot for the Patriots.
You know, we were talking there about the two law firms, Webb Law Center and Ben Slango. Both Rusty Webb, Ben Slango, like I said, besides being local attorneys, those guys are really involved in sports, Adam. And I mean, you look at Slango, what he's done with the Shawnee Sports Complex over there and making that happen, and tournaments that have come in as a result of that. And then Rusty Webb was with him this morning, had a big press release over in Kanawha City. He's bringing a big college tennis tournament to Charleston here next month, and we're going to live stream that.
High arcing punt, but this time takes a GW bounce back inside the 50-yard line on the St. Albans side of the field.
Yeah, you seen there. If you're a Red Dragon player, you're there and you're waiting on that ball to come down, and you're spraying, it's going to bounce up the field instead of back, and didn't quite happen for you there. But you're like, okay, we want this thing to move forward. But a lot of times you get that high arcing punt, it's not going to roll with you as well.
So 3 and out for the Red Dragons gives the Patriots fantastic starting field position here with just under 7 minutes to go in this first half and a 3-touchdown lead. For St. Albans, you really need a stop here to try to slow things down a little bit just to get yourself back into it before going into the locker rooms.
Yeah, and we'll take a second here. It looks like they've stopped the action. We may even have a adjustment on the ball here. But the camera work tonight being brought to you by Dan Shreve, the Media Center, and Dan is just amazing study of video production, and when you're running one camera like this, he and I were talking today, it's special. You got it. Oh!
Yeah, Fenwick hit from behind, loses it on the hit, but fortunately for him and the Patriots, somebody's there to clean it up. That's Christian Valentine, the junior left tackle there to jump on the football and recover it for the Patriots and prevent a turnover.
Yeah, pushes the ball back inside GW territory, and, the big defensive play, which the Red Dragons needed.
And that was without Anthony Casto out there on the field for the Patriots. So Casto back out on the field now. Patriots going to try to regroup here on 2nd and long. Ball at the GW 41-yard line. 2nd and 21. Handoff goes up the middle. A great head run there for the Patriots. Keegan Slack, the freshman, with a couple of nice carries so far in this first half.
Yeah, he just followed his block, and hole opened up there, and it's a solid 8 yards.
Gets up to midfield now. Make it 3rd down and 12. Patriots need to get down inside the 40 to at least the 38 of St. Albans to keep the drive alive. 3 receivers set to the wide side of the field. That's the near side for GW. Snap back to Fenwick in the shotgun. He's going to air it out deep down the far side on the right.
He's
has his man. That's caught by Tyshawn Deuce for the touchdown.
Oh, wow. What a play, what a pass, and what a catch. And to be able to keep his composure, keep his feet there, and finish off the play for the touchdown. Amazing combination there on that pass and catch, and touchdown on the play.
50 yards on the fly route to the end zone for 6. Abe Fenwick finds the freshman Tyshawn Dews, and the Patriots take a 27-0 lead with 5:28 to go. 5:28 to go here in the first half.
We'll get a flag down here on the extra point. Offsides, St. Albans. Mark that 1.5 yard there in, half the distance.
So now Ryland Moorhead will line it up again, and
that extra yard, he might be able to kick it over onto the pharmacy lot there.
And it is good. Patriots take a 28-0 lead, 5:28 to go here in this first half.
All right. See that end zone over there sits right on Route 60, as we said. You kick a ball out of it high enough there, you cross over Route 60 into the parking lots. There you go. You see on the screen, student section for the Patriots, that Patriot Pack blackout tonight. I think they got to see what they wanted to see so far here in the first half.
I'd say if you're a Patriot Pack member, you're feeling pretty good about yourself right now. Feeling pretty good about this team. especially having with this team lost its starting quarterback, with R.T. Alexander having graduated. 4 of its top 5 wide receivers from last year are gone due to graduation. So a lot of kind of uncertainty really coming into this year about this GW team, but a lot of question marks being answered so far, at least, Dana.
Oh, absolutely. I think that, if you're a GW fan, this is what you wanted to see. Obviously, I think as just an objective fan of football, you want to see a good game. But if you're a Patriot fan, you're kind of expected not only to win the game, but you need to win solid.
Patriots set to kick things off again after scoring for the 4th time this evening. Nice kick again here from Moorhead. This time shy of the end zone. Finally picked up at the 2. And that'll be...
The ball's loose.
Yeah, the ball on
and
the turf.
Looks like GW may have recovered.
Rocco Fry losing the ball on the turf for the Red Dragons on the return.
Yeah,
it
looks
is
like
a Patriot who comes
ball.
out of the pile. That was Peyton Coulter who comes out of the pile with the football, and they do say GW football.
Yeah, it was one of those tough plays. He thought he was going to get the roll into the end zone, and it died there inside the 5. He picks it up. Looks like he might even try to break it for some a nice healthy gain off of that. And then somebody come in off the side there and gets the hit, and the ball flies loose. And your worst nightmare if you're a Red Dragon fan.
And coming off the field, Fry hanging his head a little bit after fumbling that kickoff. I'm sure Nick Watts will tell him, hey, pick it up. We need you still for the rest of this game. There's still 5 minutes, 17 seconds to go here in this first half. We still got a lot of football to play. Abe Fenwick in the shotgun after the fumble, and he'll be sacked. There's Edge coming off the edge for the sack for the Red Dragons.
Couldn't
he
find
had
an open
6
man.
last year. He's got 1 here tonight.
Now, he had plenty of time initially. He just couldn't get anybody open. So credit the St. Albans defensive backfield. And
Fenwick's just fortunate that didn't come from his blind side.
That's correct.
It's a good thing he came from the side he was looking at, because as the southpaw, that could have ended real bad.
Big play, Adam, because now you took what looked like, the fumble off the kickoff. They were just going to punch that thing right in there. And now you're looking at 2nd and long. I mean, this could maybe at least hold them to a field goal.
2nd and a trip across the bridge real quick for the Patriots coming up after this timeout requested by GW. Granted to them. They will have 2 timeouts left here in the first half with 4:42 to go. And we're here in the 2nd quarter. You're watching GW and St. Albans on Game Day, presented by HD Media on the RSN Sports Network. 2nd quarter of our broadcast tonight brought to you by Poca Valley Bank. And they're just one of our many great sponsors for our broadcast, not just tonight, but for the whole rest of the season.
Yeah, that's right. One of them that signed back on with us for the 3rd year in a row is Army Recruiting of West Virginia. Those guys are so much fun. They're so much fun, Adam. They typically are at the game. They weren't able to make it tonight, but they'll come out with the air cannon to shoot the T-shirts up over. The Patriot Pack's missing out tonight, and as are the Red Dragon student section. But they'll come out and have a lot of fun with them. They have cornholes and stuff. They'll be back with us next week.
Handoff goes to Haston Pinkerton on 2nd and long, and the Red Dragons there to smother him up and swallow him up.
Guys, all of a sudden, St. Albans defense is alive.
Leading the charge, Cam Wells, the man you see on your screen right now, coming off the opposite edge from Elijah Edge.
A much-needed spark here and some positive energy for the Red Dragons here on successive plays. And now you're looking at 3rd and long.
Patriots making some personnel changes. To the near side of the field, it'll be Fitzpatrick, the lone receiver, 2 receivers up top, and then a double-barrel shotgun that's offset for GW.
Big play here. Big play if they can stop him.
3rd and long, going to air it out deep, looking for Fitzpatrick, and he had him, but he just couldn't hang on to it. He had the step on his man, Chris Hall, and he dropped it. That was 6 points guaranteed.
He's going to want that back in his adulthood. He's going to go back on that one. But if you're Red Dragons, now you've forced what was an imminent touchdown there after that fumble on the kickoff return is now 4th and long.
Fenwick put that one on the money, too.
So, obviously there's no way they're going to be able to try for a field goal here. So St. Albans has a good chance to stop them on downs, and how big is that going to be for that Red Dragon team?
Could help change
right
the tide.
Halftime.
Yeah. Fenwick dropping back to pass again, heaving for the end zone. Pass is incomplete, trying to find Hayden Hatfield. Great job there on the coverage by Michael Hindman.
Yeah, if you're Hyman, you really don't want to catch that. It's just like, hey, better field position if I just let this drop.
Turnover on downs.
That's hard to tell yourself when you're down there like in those situations.
It's really hard to tell a kid, don't catch the ball when it's right there at him.
But, Adam, that was a big series there for St. Albans and the defense as the team as a whole. Let's see if they can come back on offense and make some things happen now.
The Red Dragons can put some points on the scoreboard. That would definitely help start turning the tide back in their favor. Trailing by 4 touchdowns with just under 4 minutes to go in the first half. Opening game, the 2021 season for both of these schools.
Got a timeout here.
Timeout requested by St. Albans. That will be granted. We'll step aside for a quick 30-second timeout as well. We'll be right back with more football action here on Game Day, presented by HD Media on the RSN Sports Network.
In the history of Dutch Miller Hyundai, there has never been a better time to trade in your car. Because of major supply chain disruptions, your vehicle is worth more than it ever has been. Even if you're not looking to trade in your car, we're interested in buying your vehicle at up to 30% above fair market value. We have customers trading in their vehicles that are getting more now than they paid for it. Learn more and text or chat now at DutchMillerHyundai.com.
Come check out the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles with friends and family pricing for everyone.
Back here at Crawford Field in St. Albans, West Virginia. Happy to have you with us this evening here on Game Day, presented by HD Media on the RSN Sports Network. Adam Rogers, Dana Farrell, thanks for joining us tonight for the first game of high school football action in the Mountain State.
Adam, you saw on that commercial break there, my man Chris Miller there with his car dealership. But, hey, he's been on our show. He's been on our tailgate shows. He is a lot of fun and very intelligent guy when he's not making crazy car commercials. He knows his stuff.
Hand off on a draw to the Red Dragons up man.
Wow.
I believe that was Fry. That was Elijah Edge with the carry, rumbling his way across midfield for a big gain for the Red Dragons.
Best running play of the night for St. Albans. And as we said, now we come out of that big defensive stand down here in the end zone, time running down in the first half, and the offense comes up with a big play here, and now they're in GW territory for only the second time tonight.
Last time the Red Dragons were in GW territory, drive ended with no points. Handoff goes to Edge again. He'll cut his way back up the middle, has right around enough for the first down, depending on where they spot the ball. Nick Watts, I believe, saying it's a first down, let's move the sticks, but
yeah, another big gain here. It's going to be second and very short.
Yeah, it is going to be second and short. Second and a short one as he's inside the 36-yard line. They need to get across the 35 to move the chains. Under 3 minutes to go in the first half now. Handoff goes to Edge. He'll try to bounce it outside.
Nice
breaks out of one tackle, but can't break out of the second one. Wrapping him up from behind is Heath McCormick getting the ankle tackle and actually bring him down for a loss.
Yeah, loss of one, but it could have been a lot worse. So credit to him, for breaking out of that tackle in the backfield, getting over there, and he actually dragged that second tackle forward a couple yards to escape a total disaster there. But you had short, second and very short, so third and short again. They've got to, it's got to be 4-down territory for St. Albans right now. So hopefully they can pick this up and continue the positive mojo here in the first half.
Third and a short 2 for the Red Dragons upcoming. 15 seconds on the play clock, just over 2 on the game clock. Brown takes a shotgun snap, hands off to the up man. That's Eli Littlejohn getting his first carry of the night, and he has enough for the first down and then some. So he'll get down inside the 35 to the 34-yard line, give him 3.
And you're starting, we're under 2 minutes to play here, so clock starts to become a factor here as they try to push this ball down into the end zone here as they are in GW territory, but the time is going to be a factor.
First and 10 from the 34 of GW for the Red Dragons. Brown takes a shotgun snap, quick throw out to the near side, high throw, trying to find his intended target. Yeah, he was looking for Jordan Mosley. Had him there.
Yeah, I think that's an adjustment. Hopefully the coaches will be making at halftime with him. He's been a little high on several of his passes out there in his flats like that. The guy's there. He's just got to make a little adjustment, get that ball down, and I think we'll see some good things happen there.
Kanawha Valley Rookie of the Year for Peyton Brown last year. Averaged about 102 yards of passing per game. last
he can
season.
do it on his feet as well. I haven't seen him take off much here tonight, but he can do it on his feet.
Handoff will go again on the outside to Littlejohn, and he's swallowed up in the backfield. Great penetration there by the Patriots. The linebacker, Jake Kolaski, flying in to help make that stop for GW.
Right, they're going to have to go to the air here for two reasons. Obviously, the clock, and then you got third and long now. You're going to have a big play here on third down if you want to continue this.
Definitely need to draw something up on 3rd and 15. Down 4 touchdowns. Want to try to take some kind of momentum into the locker room.
Wait for the ball snap here, long count.
Brown and takes the shotgun snap under a little bit of pressure, dancing around, stepping up in the pocket now, finally tripped and ended up just shy of the original line of scrimmage. Kolaski making some contact to help drop him.
And you see the clock on your screen there, and I think we're going to get a timeout here at this point.
Yeah, head coach Nick Watts for the Red Dragons going to call the timeout. Stop things with 35.9 seconds on 4th and 11. What do you do here at this point? Down 4 touchdowns.
Well, I think you see
you got a little bit of options.
What Brown's capable of on that play there. He can take off. So, that's got to be something. And of course, I know GW is scouted and they're aware of and waiting for it. But let him get loose on his feet out there if he can spread the field. But like I said, a little adjustment there, and 2 or 3 of those passes are complete passes. They'll make that adjustment, I'm sure, at halftime. But it'd be great if they can punch something in here. They got 35 seconds and 1 4th down and 11 here to go. Let's see if they can make it happen.
Need to get down to at least the GW 24-yard line to keep this first half clock running without turning it over.
So you're watching high school sports here on a special Thursday night edition here to open up the season in West Virginia high school football. Brought to you here, as Adam said, on the RSN Sports Network, now powered by HD Media. I want to thank General Manager Doug Scaff, Owner-Director Doug Reynolds over there for helping making this happen. And you're going to see a lot of exciting things ahead here this fall with RSN and HD Media.
Tonight's any indication, we're already excited about it, folks, and we hope you are too, as Brown takes a shotgun snap under heavy duress, able to climb the pocket and somehow avoid a lot of contact. He's slung down to the ground around the 35-yard line, and there is a flag down on the field. We'll wait to see what the penalty is.
Yeah, this is one that's going to go against St. Albans. But again, you can see if he gets loose out there, he made a couple of nifty moves just to get out of some major trouble.
He definitely has the legs to get out of some space once he finds, or get out of some tackling if he's got the space in front of him.
So the ball's going to go over on downs to GW. 26 seconds left in the first half.
I would imagine GW would kneel or just run the ball here to try to go to the locker room and take that 28-point lead and be content with it, but who knows? This is the first game of the year. You're sometimes trying to make an imprint on
every
that first
player.
game,
You're going to give your best, absolutely.
So,
and they're going to go to the air.
Play action fake on
Bounces
a screen attempt. It was attempted for the man who cut the last touchdown, Tyshawn Dews.
That little screen out there, a hook screen, and
I'll stop the clock with just under 22 seconds to go.
Yeah, I think, this is one of those things, too. You're up 4 touchdowns going into halftime. We'll see. You want obviously will bring your starters back out to start the third quarter, but this is one. We talked about the heat, things you want to be careful of getting one of your key guys hurt.
Fenwick drops back to pass again, throws an absolute beauty of a ball out to the far side. That's Hayden Hatfield taking off for the races, and he's got reservations for 6. Patriots take a 34-0 lead.
That answered our question, Adam, if they were going to rest on it or try to punch another one in. Well, answered our question real fast. So big throw and catch with under 20 seconds to go in the ball game or in the first half.
64 yards.
64-yard pass completion. Great job down that sideline. So the Patriot air game is for real. And combined with Matthews in the backfield, they're pretty lethal on offense, Adam.
Snap is up, back, and the kick is up and good for Moorhead. 35-0 our score with 12.2 to go here in the opening half. It's all Patriots.
Yeah, for the Red Dragons, you're thinking, what just happened there over the last couple of minutes? Because they had the big stop down deep in their territory after the fumble and the kickoff. They get the stop, get the 3 or 4 good positive plays, move the ball up inside, pretty well inside GW territory, then have to turn it over on downs, and then 2 plays later, you're down another touchdown.
Patriot fans over on that far sideline feeling a lot of Patriot pride, I'm sure, right now. Up 35-0, and I'd say hardly breaking a sweat, but it's hot enough out there to where they're definitely sweating.
You can break a sweat sitting down, and trust me, we're certainly breaking one up here in the press box. We've got 2 different fans hitting on us, but I told Adam here, if you don't hear me at halftime, it's because I'm going to be in the concession stand. I'm going to make a run for Parmar. You see over there our cameraman, Dan Shreve, with a shot over the St. Albans student section and cheerleaders. And those cheerleaders, they had a special moment here before the game started. Lost one of their cheerleaders. I think it was Donovan Summers, if I get that first name right. Passed away last night, and just a tough time here. They had to come back out here, the whole student body, the cheerleaders. Just a tough time here for this school. 15, just turned 15 years old. On the cheerleading squad, and passed away last night. I think it was complications to COVID, some symptoms over there. So hearts, prayers, and thoughts go out to St. Albans community tonight. So the kickoff, another great one through the end zone. Just a few seconds left here in the first half. We'll see what St. Albans chooses to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the question now. You're St. Albans, you got the ball back. How do you respond now after thinking that you might get out and be down just 4 touchdowns? Instead, now it's 5 touchdowns.
I'm 5 down. What have I got to lose? I'm going to do what I do. But at the end of the day, you want something positive to happen here. But it looks like they're just going into a stack. They're just going to kneel on the ball.
Red Dragons will kneel out this first half and head into the locker rooms, trailing the visitors 35-0 after 2 quarters of action here at Crawford Field. The Patriots with a 5-touchdown lead. So you've been watching it so far. Game Day was presented by HD Media on the RSN Sports Network. Dana, is about what we expected out of GW. And
correct.
What a lot of people, I think, expected out of St. Albans. But there have been positive moments for this Red Dragons team.
I think, fans of both teams have got some things they can look at and say, after this game, I'm not, it's to be a monumental effort for St. Albans to turn things around. And it really, at this point, I think anybody objectively watching this game, GW, helmet for helmet, is just a better team. So you look at what's going to happen. You try to think, okay, St. Albans, but we're not playing a GW every weekend, so we got to look at, hey, what's the improvements here, and what do we have up ahead, and what are some wins that we can knock out on the schedule. Now for GW, like, hey, we have 35-0 shutout here at halftime over a up-and-coming team, and you got to think, okay, this is what we needed to happen here in the first game of the year. And get out there and really catch some momentum and say, hey, GW is for real. And I don't think anybody watching at home or on their smart device right now can deny that, hey, if you're playing a GW here on your schedule, you got them, you better pencil that one in. You better get ready.
And GW with a good showing tonight, definitely needed as the season progresses, as will St. Albans try to bounce back and get some things cleaned up here for this second half. Again, Patriots lead 35-0 after 2 quarters of action here at Crawford Field. We'll step aside and we will take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll send you down to the band and give you the sights and sounds of the marching band.
I'm headed for Parmar.
What started as the Parmar Oil Company in 1967 has grown into 116 convenience stores in 4 states. Parmar convenience stores offer monthly product specials and grab-and-go items. Located just down the street from where you live, Parmar stores are all about being your above-par convenience store. If you don't have a Parmar store near you now, you will soon. Parmar Convenience Stores, neighbors serving your community and making life a little bit easier every day.
In the history of Dutch Miller Jeep, there has never been a better time to trade in your car. Because of major supply chain disruptions, your vehicle is worth more than it ever has been. Even if you're not looking to trade in your car, we're interested in buying your vehicle at up to 30% above fair market value. We have customers trading in their vehicles that are getting more now than they paid for it. Learn more and text or chat now at DutchMillerJeep.com.
Come in today for the Make This the Summer event and get friends and family pricing for everyone.
What started as the
In
Parmar
the history of Dutch Miller Jeep, there has never been a better time to trade in your car. Because of major supply chain disruptions, your vehicle is worth more than it ever has been. Even if you're not looking to trade in your car, we're interested in buying your vehicle at up to 30% above fair market value. We have customers trading in their vehicles that are getting more now than they paid for it. Learn more and text or chat now at DutchMillerJeep.com.
Come in today for the Make This the Summer event and get friends and family pricing for everyone.
give a nice round of applause for the George Washington Patriot Band. Please welcome to the field the pride of the Cold River, the St. Albans High School Red Dragon Band. The band is led onto the field by drum major Lily Smith. The band will be performing their 2021 show, Fame, featuring the selections Applause, Paparazzi, Shallow, and Just Dance. Drum Major Lily, is the Red Dragon Band ready? Red Dragons Band, the field is yours. Have a great show.
We are here at the George Washington St. Albans game where this week's band of the week is the one and only Red Dragons. Take it away, guys. Got the timing right, right? All about the timing. We're here at the George Washington St. Albans game where this week's band of the week is the one and only Red Dragons. We're here at the George Washington St. Albans football game for the one and only Red Dragons. 3, 2, 1. We're here at the George Washington St. Albans game for this week's band of the week is the one and only Red Dragons.
7 minutes later, almost 8 minutes later, Fitzpatrick hauls in a 49-yard touchdown from Abe Fenwick. Then Clay Matthews gets into the scoring affair with a 1-yard touchdown run to make it 21-0. Then Tyshawn Dews, who catches the ball here for the Patriots, he gets into the scoring affair with a 50-yard bomb into the end zone to make it 28-0. And then it's capped off with just over 12 seconds to go in the first half. Hayden Hetfield hauls one in from 64 yards to make it 35-0. And it was, again, all Patriots in the first half. But there were some bright spots for St. Albans in that first half, despite being down 5 touchdowns.
Right, and as we said, they had a big little swing pass that they were able to, the GW overplayed. They were able to break for big yardage in the first quarter. Second quarter there down the stretch, they had that stop on downs deep in their territory after a fumble on the kickoff. And then the offense took over and drove down deep into GW territory before giving it up on downs. So those are some positive things.
Short gain on second down. Actually, I think he lost to about a half yard there as Keegan Sack was the ball carrier for GW. Bring up third down for the Patriots.
Underway here in the third quarter. Third quarter action. Brought to you by Par-Mar Stores, well, as appropriate as it is.
Sure, they've seen a lot of business here over the last couple of weeks, getting some ice cold beverages there at Par-Mar.
Brian Wall, their GM there. He's a great guy, been with RSN Sports for a while.
Yeah, sack there. Elijah Edge coming up with the sack from behind on Abe Fenwick.
And he's been in that backfield off and on all night, Adam.
That'll bring up fourth down and a good sack there, a timely sack for this Red Dragon defense to try to get that GW offense off the field, bring your offense out, and try and put some points on the scoreboard for the first time tonight.
3 sacks on the night for that St. Albans defense. And let's give credit to the defensive backfield, because as lethal as that GW passing game is, if they can't find somebody open in that amount of time, then that's a good job.
Nice kick. And we are going to have a running into the kicker as Moorhead got rocked. Fielded on the punt by Hindman. Hindman breaks out of a couple of tackles, finally slung out of bounds around the 30 by Kyle Matthews.
Well, and we got a flag down there after the tackle.
That was Rylan Moorhead.
A little extracurricular activity down there on that sideline after the play.
Yeah, we've got the one over there and then the one down on the near side. That's a flag on the near sideline was thrown about 4 yards behind where the tackle was made. So we'll await to find out the results of both of these. We know one of them is at least running into the kicker. It could be roughing the kicker. Just depends. I think they're more likely to see running into or roughing the kicker on this one, as Moorhead got planted on his backside.
Well, one thing's for sure, I've seen this officiating group at halftime there going into their locker room. I told them a great job in it. We had no injuries in the first half, but come right out of here, and it's a pretty difficult one to iron out here. Had a lot going on in one play.
4 of our officials meeting up there between the 35 and 40 of St. Albans.
Let's take this moment to thank all of our list of sponsors. That would be Dutch Miller Auto Group, as we mentioned, Thomas Health System, HD Media now we're partnering with. That's Charleston Huntington, Logan Williamson Newspapers, Vince Lango Law Firm, Par-Mar Stores, Frontier Communications, Poca Valley Bank, Army Recruiting of West Virginia, Adelphia Sports Bar, Tays Physical Therapy, Webb Law Center, and Todd Judy Ford, all on board the HD Media RSN Sports train this year. Coach Stevie Edward Jr. there on the sideline.
Next to his longtime assistant, Jason Smith. Standing behind Coach Edwards there on your screen, the offensive coordinator, Scott Tinsley, former St. Albans and Nitro head coach.
Yeah, talking about what a good job these officiating crew is doing here. Haven't seen either coach get really fired up so far, and there's been some opportunities they could have. Although we can see it, Patriot coaching staff look a little miffed right now in that picture.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to figure out what was going on and how that's all going to result. Because the near sideline foul here where the tackle was made, it could be dependent on, is it before the play, is it after or was it while the play was going on? Was it an after the play thing?
Did I just jinx it? Because he throws the arm down. Edwards is not happy about the result of this one. There you go. Body language says it all. Hey, it could have been worse. He's up 35 to nothing coming out of the half here, or it could have been worse.
Now we're just going to wait for them to mark this one off. And then we'll finally be ready to resume play here in the second half. Clock's been stopped at 10:14 for quite a while now while they try to figure this one out. But we appreciate them taking the time to make certain they get the correct calls. That's the important thing.
Oh yeah, like I said, that was not easy there. That's when you really kind of had to run through the computer a couple times.
Yeah, especially we mentioned some of the jitters for the players earlier. This is the first game for the officials of the season as well. So, maybe trying to shake a little bit of rust off.
And we're seeing that. I think that unsportsmanlike penalties now being assessed after the play here against St. Albans.
Head coach for St. Albans, Nick Watts, is going to make his case with the official on the near sideline. Trying to get his vantage point.
Yeah, both coaches have been on the field, headsets off, and discussed. So nobody's going to be happy on this one. And once again, Red Dragons look like they're going to start from inside their 20-yard line.
Yeah, inside their own 15 as of right now. The nose of the football just outside the 15-yard line on the near side hash mark. And now we get the whistle to resume play. So Peyton Brown will come out onto the field for the first time on offense here in the second half. Takes a shotgun snap, rolls to his right, and has some space in front of him. Finally fires a dart and hit off the hands of his intended target, Michael Hindman, the junior wide receiver, who is a triple sport athlete for this Red Dragons team.
Dangerous pass there, and he threw it to where only his guy had a chance at it, but that was triple coverage. They had
coverage
that
for the triple sport athlete. Plays basketball and baseball for the Red Dragons.
That's something that is stressed, I think, and you see hopefully more student athletes will do more of. But
so you started seeing it go down there for a while. People started to get specialized in playing just one sport. And
ball's
now
on the turf, Adam.
Starting to see them go back to playing more sports instead of just the one.
Right.
And fortunately for the Red Dragons, they are able to jump back on top of it. It's Elijah Edge able to jump on top of the pill.
But yes, as you were speaking now, the whole thing where club sports have taken root. First injury of the night.
Yeah, hopefully it looks like it might just be a cramp with Elijah Edge. He has been having a lot of workout on that field tonight for this Red Dragons team. So he's going to be attended to by the Red Dragon medical staff. The teams will head over to the sidelines and discuss their next course of action as the clock is stopped with 9:49 left to go in this third quarter. And hopefully it's just cramps for him. He is a key player for this Red Dragon team, but it's something that we talked about on the pregame show or down on the side of the field before the broadcast tonight, that the heat would definitely play a factor. It not played a factor until now. But
well, and it really doesn't surprise me that it starts to take hold in the third quarter, because you had the heat, you had a strenuous play, and then you stop for halftime, and those muscles tighten back up. Come back out here, start exerting yourself again, and then that's when it's going to hit. So it would not surprise me if this is the first of many here in the second half.
I would expect to see several players cramping up tomorrow night, as well as high school football fully gets underway tomorrow here in the Mountain State of West Virginia. As
you got a big one there just across the river here. We have the Dots of Polka High School coming over to a rival game against the Wildcats of Nitro. You'll be on the call on that one.
Excited about that game. Polka had a great season last year. Didn't end the way that it wanted to, like a lot of teams. Had COVID cancel them out before they could play in the playoffs,
right.
And so didn't get a chance to have the 2019 Kennedy Award winner Isaac McNeely have a fantastic finish to his year.
So looking forward to a big game tomorrow night over there.
So
see Mr. Edge come to the sideline there with that cramp injury. Injury timeout. Let's thank our healthcare sponsors and Taze Physical Therapy and Thomas Health System, both been partners with us now for a couple of years.
Brown rolls out after the stoppage and play to his right, fires a dart.
That
one caught this time by Hindman.
He's got
it more than enough for the first down. Gets up near the 30-yard line. They'll spot him right there at the 30, give him a gain of 15 on that pickup.
You know, we talked there before the half that if they could just get, well, we've got a flag there, but if they could get some adjustments on Brown, Peyton Brown, you know, some of his passes are a little high, but if he brings those down, they've got some passing game. But it looks like a hold possibly on that play. That one's coming back.
Yeah, they are going to march it back now, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. We'll mark it
Tough
down
break.
at the 6.
Really tough break there because that was a nice looking pass play. He had he rolled it out a little bit, had plenty of protection, finds his man there in the seam and for a first down, and now you got to back up.
3rd and 15. Peyton Brown stands in front of his own goal line, and before he can take the snap, play is blown dead, and I think we're going to have false start against the Red Dragons. Definitely not how you want to be going now.
Yeah, the body language kind of says that there in the backfield. A little frustration setting in with themselves.
Now Peyton Brown, if he's lined up in the shotgun, will be taking that snap in his own end zone. Ball spotted right there, smack dab in the center of the field. Right at the 3-yard line.
Have to be careful here going wide on anything.
And the Red Dragons trying to draw the Patriots offside. We'll wait for the signal. It's going to be false start on the Red Dragons. Back it up half the distance to the goal now.
Yeah, really getting
spotted inside the 2.
I mean, we're getting into safety issue area here, and really nowhere to go between the tackles. And if you go to the outside, you run the risk of loss of yardage and getting the safety.
Especially with big number 78 there lining up on the outside. Anthony Casto for this Patriot defense. He's wreaked havoc in that backfield all night long. Handoff goes off the left tackle. He's able to sweep it out and gain a couple of positive yardage. Yeah. Eli Littlejohn, the ball carrier there for the Red Dragons, gets him at least out of the shadow of their own end zone and gives them some breathing room.
Got to give it to him. That was a tough run for about 4 yards there, but a much-needed 4 yards.
Going to give their punter just that much more room to work with. A.J. Adkins out to punt things away. Had a couple of really good punts so far tonight. As it'll be Cam Reed back to return things for GW, standing at the St. Albans 40-yard line because Adkins is standing in his own end zone on the G in Dragons. Gets the punt away, a nice spiral punt. Takes a St. Albans bounce where Reed will field it at the 46-yard line, and he'll be wrapped up and brought down after a 1-yard gain by a couple of Red Dragons flying in to make the play.
Yeah, nice way to just pick it up there and keep the ball from getting over midfield. And if you're GW, you're going to start the possession. And we got another cramp. St. Albans there.
And that appears to be...
It's going to walk it off on the field.
Yeah, it's going to be Ashton Spangler, their middle linebacker.
Well, he thought he was going to walk it off on the field, but the coaches are going to think otherwise.
Probably smart just precautionarily just to get him off and let him stretch it out a little bit. 1st and 10 for the Patriots from the Red Dragon 45. Handoff up the middle to Haston Pinkerton on a nice move inside. Pinkerton inside the 40, and he'll be brought down at the Red Dragon 37-yard line. Nice 8-yard pickup there by Pinkerton. And we have a Patriot player down on the field. That's Kyle Matthews, apparently dealing with some cramps right now, trying to crawl his way to the sideline. Finally gets a hand up by the medical staff. And, yeah, he's just running it off a little bit. You can definitely tell it's the cramps.
Yeah, no surprise that those guys, as we've seen here, Edge, Matthews, those guys that are in the pits there and down in the trenches, that they are the ones that come up with the cramps first.
It's always your most active guys coming up with cramps. Tends to be guys playing both ways, a couple occasionally playing on special teams as well. 2nd and 2 for the Patriots after the quick stoppage in play. Handoff to Pinkerton again, same play, trying to go off the right tackle, and he'll be wrapped up after a gain of 1. That was Cooper Pauley making the tackle for the Red Dragons. Patriots still leading by 5 touchdowns, putting a shutout on the board against the Red Dragons on the road. Before the snap comes off, flag flies, and we've got offsides on the Red Dragons. So a free first down for the Patriots. It's definitely not what you want to see if you're a Red Dragons fan.
No, and the first half we were talking about the lopsided penalties against GW. Well, Red Dragons are doing their best just on this one series to even the score.
Fresh set of downs for the Patriots now. 1st and 10 from the Red Dragon 31-yard line. Ball be in the middle of the field. Patriots going to spread it out a little bit. 3 receivers set, 2 to the near side. That's Dews and Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick lined up in the slot.
Let's see if the Patriots keep the ball on the ground. Well, they're going to throw it here.
Looking deep for the end zone. He's got a man, had a step on his defender. Intended for Hunter Giacomo, but falls incomplete on 1st and 10.
You got to think hopefully you're getting down in. You're up, 5 touchdowns. Shut out 35-0 here and down and getting deep into the third quarter. At what point do you kind of, okay, let's get my key guys on the bench. Let's get out here with no key injuries, that kind of thing. Versus, hey, want to see, want to wind this thing out and see what it can do, this offense.
Play action fake, a slip screen out to the far side of the field. That's caught by Isaiah Townsend. Townsend has the first down and then some on a nice bubble screen out there on that play action.
Seeing some hands on the hips over there on Red Dragon side. As I said, they're throwing, GW continues to throw the ball here in the third quarter, up 35-0.
Certainly not afraid to take shots to the air. Handoff goes to Keegan Sack off the left tackle. Sack breaks out of 1 tackle. Gets into the second level and tries to cut up field, and he'll be brought down inside the 15. Nice gain on first down.
Yeah, this is what I expected to see, just push the ball up the field. They've got the offensive line to do it, run that clock.
Wear them down at this point.
Had to score, so it's what you would expect.
Same formation for the Patriots. 5:35. Handoff goes to Pinkerton off the right tackle. Pinkerton inside the 10, plunges forward. Brought down by a host of defenders. Spangler leading the way, who's cramping up now. He's joined by Elijah Edge making the tackle.
Right.
Gonna keep hearing his name a lot for the rest of tonight, and I'm sure throughout the rest of the season. He's a guy that I would definitely expect to be on the All-State list at the end of the year if he continues up this performance.
This is the kind of first opening night that you want to have, and certainly kind of sets the tone.
Couple of sacks for him already this evening. Had 6 sacks last year in just 6 games, and already 2 in tonight's ball game to open the 2020 campaign. 5 minutes to go now in a rolling clock, third quarter. Snap comes back to Fenwick. Handoff to Pinkerton. Pinkerton cuts off the right tackle, cuts back inside the hash mark, and he'll find his way into the end zone for another Patriot touchdown. 41-0. Patriots with the lead, under 5 to go in the third quarter.
So GW comes back out of the locker room and asserts itself. Says, hey, we are who we are. And keep the gas on here in the third quarter. And some of this is, is statement, not to St. Albans as much as it is the rest of their schedule.
Pinkerton with the 7-yard touchdown run. Point after try is up and is good. Patriots take a 42-0 lead with 4:51 left to go here in this third quarter. Don't forget, our third quarter is brought to you by Parmar Stores. You can go get a nice, cold, refreshing beverage there anytime, and it will cool you off, but especially today and this week.
You bet your bottom dollar.
Don't forget, you're watching GW and St. Albans here on Game Day, presented by HD Media on RSN Sports Network. Happy to have you with us here tonight. We hope that you join us tomorrow night for Polka and Nitro. Happy to have you with us then, and we'll be happy to have you with us for the rest of the season. We're looking forward to a full slate of games this year. Hopefully no COVID interruptions for things. I didn't want to say it, but, I said it, knock on wood. You
said it. Okay.
And
there's one thing, Adam, that talked to HD Media GM Doug Scaff just earlier today. And one of the things we're looking to do first of the week, it looks like it'll be Monday afternoons that we'll come out and make an announcement of what the game of the week is going to be. It's usually 2 games each weekend, but we'll make that announcement on Monday afternoon so the teams and schools can look forward to that. That's also the same time we release our student section rankings, so it should be an exciting Monday afternoon.
Definitely want to be paying attention to that come Monday afternoon. Follow the appropriate Twitter and Facebook accounts as the kickoff goes back, and it's fielded by the up man. That is Cam Calloway, and Calloway brings it all the way up across midfield. A great return after the touchdown for the Red Dragons, but we have a penalty and a player cramping for St. Albans.
Yeah, the cramps have come out in force here as we start into the second half.
Wait to see what the penalty on the field is. It is in the area of a hold, but we'll wait for them to officially signal the penalty. See it sitting there on the field at the St. Albans 28-yard line. So 4:39 left to go in this third quarter, as it appears like it was Elijah Edge coming up cramping, being helped over to the near sideline by a couple of his teammates. Good to see him walking under his own power, though. Again, that cramping, like we said before, once it starts, it doesn't go away until you get after the game and you are able to just sit and do nothing and hydrate up. It is a really, really difficult thing to manage in the middle of a game. Head coach Nick Watts going over the instructions for his team as the offense gets ready to head back out. It'll do so with a longer field than it would have had.
Much difference in
penalty.
that.
Yeah, it would have been right around midfield. Now they're going to back it up all the way inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
You know, Adam, we were talking about the game tomorrow night. You have Polka at Nitro. There's some other big games around the state there looking at it. And we said, talked to Coach Mason tonight, South Charleston travels up to Morgantown tomorrow night.
That'll be a big game for his program.
Much game to watch there. You've got Parkersburg at Huntington, and that's a game we're going to syndicate, pick it up on the live stream tomorrow off the network at HD Media. So you'll be able to watch that.
Parkersburg with a fantastic quarterback there. Bryson Singer really been making an impact there for the Big Reds the last couple of years. They'll move him around a little bit there, so definitely keep an eye on Bryson Singer in that game for Parkersburg.
Okay, and also keeping it over there in the west end of the state is Cabell Midland travels over at Spring Valley tomorrow. That's going to be a good one. And that one is, I think, on a pay-per-view off the Kindred Communication Network. But that's one to keep an eye on. Cabell Midland, Spring Valley, 2 power teams over there in the west part of the state.
Always a great game when those 2 rivals come together.
Now this one, you know, you wouldn't think is teams have been to the playoffs line, but they just don't like each other. But Riverside at Woodrow, they just, if you watch the banner with the bar stool and the student section, these 2 schools would just get after each other. Ugly get after each other.
Well, while we were talking about some of the games coming up tomorrow, we had a false start against the Red Dragons and then a short gain back, but it's still second down and long now with under 4 minutes to go here in this third quarter. Quick throw intended for his man Calloway, who had the big return that was called back. He drops it off of his fingertips and incomplete.
Adam, we've got another rivalry game, Putnam County, Winfield AA school, Power AA school at Hurricane. Hurricane, a AAA team that really needs to make a statement early in the game. That's a game, a must-win for Hurricane.
I would say a good Hurricane means a good thing for AAA football. When Hurricane is at its best, AAA football seems like it's one of the better years that it has.
Right. John Marshall crossing over and playing at University. So 2 big games tomorrow night in the Morgantown area with both Morgantown and University playing at home.
Third down after the incompletion. A bubble screen out to the near side. That gets into the hands of Littlejohn. He'll break out of a couple of tackles, but finally be planted to the turf by Velathambi. Freshman quarterback / linebacker making a big hit on that screen play. It'll bring up 4th down and long now, and the Red Dragons will punt things away, and it'll be right around the 3-minute mark when they send things over to the Patriots.
We talked about AAA games tomorrow night, too. One of them that's not going to get played and was expected to be a big game was Parkersburg South at Capitol, and because of a COVID scare at Capitol High School, schools shut down, sports along with that. At this point in time, what we understand is that Capitol may travel to Parkersburg South on Monday night, play the game, and then that'll push next Friday night's game with South Charleston. Can't find it. Stick a fork in it.
Yeah, Keegan Sack trying to pick that one off the turf and just couldn't scoop it up. The gloves must not have the sticky on them anymore because it's so hot it must have melted off.
He really came close to pulling that helmet off there on the field. Thought better of it. Kept it on.
Got to not let your emotions get the best of you. Fortunately for him, he was able to save it. Patriots keep possession there, so no harm, no foul for him really in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, so we talked about that. So next weekend we have that game. Hopefully on the live stream here, HD Media, RSN Sports Network, and so we'll see South Charleston at Capitol. That's going to be moved to Saturday at 3 p.m. kickoff.
We'd have a flag down on that previous play, and I believe that was on the Red Dragons.
You know what, Adam? It's third. We're winding down into the third quarter here. Of course, you're up 42-0, but I'm impressed with the Patriot Pack over there in the black. Patriot Pack in the black.
Showing up strong.
Showed up strong, and they're still there. They haven't scattered out.
You think still there,
it's
still
Thursday.
loud.
They've got school tomorrow, and they're still there, hanging in there pretty strong. You're right.
False start on the Patriot offense.
You're right.
The play dead.
We may have to give them some credit this.
Hey,
this
I saw they weren't on there, and I was like, man, when I was there at GW, the Patriot Pack was a force to be reckoned with. Like, I was said maybe these other schools step their game up.
Well,
maybe that's what it is. And
yeah.
But on the road tonight, coming to St. Albans, looking pretty strong over there, as you mentioned in the black.
We tell these schools we can't be everywhere. That's why it's important for them to send their tag us on Twitter, on RSN Sports 1 or on Facebook. Send your stuff in and get that stuff to us, because we can't be everywhere all over the state. And this is a statewide ranking. But sometimes if we're there, you got to show out.
Dart across the middle, incomplete, intended for his man, Teran Fitzpatrick, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 15 for the Patriots as we get a nice look at that strong Patriot Pack over there.
Yeah, they're hanging in there. You got to give these in the heat. Started out 90 degrees at kickoff. We're deep in. We're going into the fourth quarter, and there they are.
They're feeling proud, seeing their team up 42-0 over St. Albans in the opener of 2021. Fenwick takes a shotgun snap, play action fake, and he's going to try air it out deep again, looking for Fitzpatrick. He almost had him, just left it a little underthrown. Fitzpatrick had a step on his man Hindman, who's cramping up now, as you can see on your screen. But, man, if Abe Fenwick had just thrown an extra yard or two on that ball, that's probably another reservation for 6 for the Patriots.
Yeah. That's one thing about it, GW tonight. I mean, they are not afraid to air. We're not talking about little sideline passes and swing pass. They will throw the ball downfield.
The running attack finally complements this passing attack to allow those types of plays to be open so many times like we've seen tonight.
Yeah, if you're trying to develop a defensive scheme for this, good luck to you.
Thought the passing attack might be a little lackluster potentially coming into tonight, or didn't really know what to expect out of this passing attack, I should say. I want to say
we're going to go again.
Lackluster, but because it's definitely looked really crisp. Another crisp route there by Tyshawn Dews, the freshman, makes a nice grab on 3rd and long, converts it into a big gain on bringing him inside the 25-yard line, down to the 22.
That's a big 3rd down conversion, and Patriots are not letting up the gas here.
35 yards on that pitch and catch from sophomore to freshman Fenwick Dews.
Patriots on the move here, marching down inside, get almost inside the red zone.
Just over 2 minutes in this third quarter, and if I remember correctly still, because of the way the score is, once we hit the fourth quarter, it'll be rolling clock in the fourth.
That's the way we understand.
So a handoff here to Keegan Sack, the freshman tailback, plunges down inside the 15, gets brought down shy of the 10, and we've got some more yellow laundry out there on that field.
Yeah, no, that's typical of a first game, a lot of penalties. Like I said, a lot of cramps here in this heat. And, you know, cramps are one thing, but when you're airing a ball out like GW is, that's a lot of running up and down the field for receivers and for the defensive backfield. And it's just inevitable that's going to happen.
Get a penalty on the Patriots. Back GW up now.
Pull that back. Talking about your double-A game tomorrow night, Polka at Nitro. There's a lot of good double-A matchup here to start the year out with, and we'll take a look at that. And looks like they're going to wait there a minute, but the Bluefield at Graham, Virginia, is always a big rivalry down there on the border. That's been postponed indefinitely because of COVID.
Hopefully they can get that one rescheduled because the towns of
Oh,
Bluefield show
do they
up
ever.
and show out for Graham Bluefield.
Another penalty here against the Patriots.
You want to talk about a border war. That is the definition of a border war in high school football.
Here's a game we'll probably pick up on syndication tomorrow, or at least links to Chapmanville at Sissonville. You can watch that live stream, and the Battle of the Villes. That's out of my home territory. And at Sissonville went undefeated regular season last year.
Screenplay broken up by the St. Albans defense.
And Sissonville has a new head coach, Chad Lovejoy, at the helm over there after Mark Wilson left and took a position in Columbus, Ohio. But Wilson left at Sissonville as the way we understand the winningest percentage coach in school history. And that's saying a lot because you had Joe Sawyers, who the field's named after, out there, coached for years. But Wilson, a Columbus native, moves back over to Columbus, but not after having went out to Sissonville and really kicked it up a notch to where it's expected now to be a playoff team year in and year out in Double-A.
Fenwick on second and long, airing it out deep again,
Got him.
trying to find the end zone. He
Oh.
had the man, he just couldn't put it on the money, trying to find Hunter Giacomo for his second, or what would be Hunter Giacomo's first score of the night.
Well, it looks like Hunter maybe lost the ball there in the lights. You seen him throw his hand up and shield. I don't think he could see it.
Patriots not taking their foot off that gas pedal despite being up 42-0 here in this third quarter.
Got another big rivalry game, Logan at Man tomorrow night. That's a game we originally looked at maybe doing a stream one, but had to pull off one. And that's always a good game down there in Logan County.
Hillbillies are never one to run away from any kind of competition either. Scheduling GW last year in a makeup game as Patriots get another touchdown here. It's Grant Fitzpatrick calling it in for his second score.
Over the top.
We do have a flag down on the play, though, and it'll be a holding call on the Patriot offensive line, so that'll negate the touchdown, unfortunately. But that was a beautiful ball from Abe Fenwick. And we've clearly seen that these Patriot wide receivers are getting a step or two, if not more, on the secondary from St. Albans tonight. Clearly the better group out there on the field this evening and flexing their muscle every chance they really get at it.
Yeah, and I think at this point, if you're at home, you think, well, why is GW still throwing the ball up 42-0 at this point? I think a lot of, like I said, it's still early in the season. First, you're just trying to find out what guys can do.
And especially, too, with GW coming in, this will be Abe Fenwick. The first pass he threw tonight was the first pass he attempted at the varsity level in high school. So you really don't know what you were going to get out of him before tonight.
He needs the reps. They got to go in.
You had R.T. Alexander slinging the rock for the last 2 years, and somebody else had to finally step up and do it.
Next week we'll take off. No.
Yeah, going to heave one deep and left it short on that throw, trying to find his man Keegan Sack.
Now the Patriots have got to go on the road to Ashland Paul Blazer, Kentucky next week. Things aren't going to be this easy.
Defending 3A undefeated state champs of Kentucky.
So you can understand why it helps you put this in perspective why GW is trying to give as many reps to its first team right now as they can.
Because that is a Tomcat team that, although it did lose its opening game of the year this year, It is a Tomcat team that is very, very good at Ashland Paul Blazer. So definitely a game to keep an eye on next week for the Patriots, because that will be one heck of a slugfight, I'm guessing. Patriots going to punt it away. End over end punt. Take a Patriot bounce, and it'll be fielded by the Red Dragons. Surprising to see St. Albans field that punt, because breathing down their neck was Tyshawn Dews, the gunner on that. He got down there in a heartbeat.
Yeah, that last hop just took a real hit. It looked like it went 15 foot up in the air, and then that allowed the defense to just encircle him, so there wasn't anywhere to go. You know, speaking of St. Albans now, if you're a fan, they come back next week here at home again, and they entertain Nitro Wildcats for the Battle of the Bridge.
And it was a game last year that, again, St. Albans got a big win in to start the year off with that contest to start off 2020 last season. Before, a huge win for the program, knocking off the Capital Cougars in the second week. First time in 20 tries this program was able to do that. So
I think, if you're St. Albans now, you want to look at this and say, okay, let's make some good things happen here. We've had some good plays, and that's not one of them. But
interception there almost by the Patriots, dropped by Keegan Sack.
But if you're looking at, hey, what can we what are our takeaways, some good stuff here, because next week we've got a winnable game coming up here. We've got a rivalry game, so we got to get on our A game back real quick and just put this behind us and get ready to play Nitro.
Yeah, because things don't get any easier for this St. Albans team after that Nitro contest. You look at just the next 3 games after that, Dana, at South Charleston, a home meeting with the Spring Valley Timberwolves, and then on the road at the Hurricane Redskins. It's not a next easy 3 games to start the year off. When your first 5 are GW, Nitro, South Charleston, Spring Valley, and Hurricane, that's a tough way to start the 2020 campaign, 21 campaign.
Brings up, as we wind down the third quarter here, so a conversation we can have here in the fourth. But I talked with a former coach and experienced coach here in Kanawha Valley, St. Albans alumni, that we were talking yesterday. Is when comes a point that maybe St. Albans needs to do like Ripley and some of these other schools that are in MSAC, that just you have to read writing on the wall year in and year out. We just can't compete with Cabell, Midland, and Capital and Spring. It's just, especially here in football, you got to get some wins. It doesn't mean later on you can't compete down the line, but Ripley's figured it out. They got out of there. Now they're playing the Buchanan Upshurs, Greenbrier East, and South and things, and playing schools that they can compete with. And lo and behold, you start winning games. You get more guys out. You get fans behind you. You get support behind your program.
Yeah, it's tough to find people wanting to come out to play for a team that's not going on the right track. So to
when
speak.
you're 1-9 or 2-8, and you play, you're just taking slackings in the state's toughest conference. Then, you got to ask yourself, is this the right place for us?
I will say I think St. Albans has the right man at the helm for the task at hand.
Oh,
I think
absolutely.
he is a perfect candidate to try and help turn things around. I said it on our pregame show earlier today. I've said it for the last couple of years. I think that this was a perfect hire for them to get a guy who understands what it takes to build a program instead of just a team, to build a program. This is a guy that knows what he's doing. He's a young guy. He can connect with the players pretty easily, I feel like, and he's putting out his brand of football.
Right.
And we're in year 4 of it now. This is just game 1. Still 9 more games guaranteed left for this season, as we have an interception now. Teran Fitzpatrick going to pick it off and walk into the end zone before the end of the third quarter. Still 10 seconds left, and the Patriots now make it 48-0 after a short pick 6.
Those high throws all night for Red Dragons have just been Achilles' heel, and there you see it just off the top of the hands of the receiver and bounces right into the defense and able to walk it in. Tough.
Patriots trying to make it 49-0 as a new kicker is out there. Actually hit the last one. Jordan Price, the offensive lineman, kicked the last extra point. We'll try this one. High snap, pulled down though by the senior Brady Adams. Kick is up and good. Patriots make it 49-0, 10.6 seconds left to go here in this third quarter.
Another double-A game to watch a little bit. Not so much about the competitiveness of it. Scott's been on some tough times the last couple of years, but Herbert Hoover, a lot of people expecting them. They got a lot of new blood on that team come in, moved in there, and expect them to do some special things this year, and they're on the road at Scott tomorrow night. So it'll be interesting to see that score come back. Is it going to be something like we're looking at here?
Well, you know that the Herbert Hoover Huskies are excited about getting to play again with everything that's happened with that school over the last couple of years with the flooding and having to go in different buildings and whatnot to have class, and the way it's just disrupted everything in that community. To have the turf there now, too, I mean, can you ask for much better for Hoover? You're starting to get everything in place, and now you've got a team that people are talking a lot about to make some noise in Class AA.
They went to the playoffs last year, went up to Oak Glen, and were knocked out there, but they had a great year even last year. Got to see him early on, I think, when they played Sissonville, I think out of the gate, first or second game of the year, and I knew then, hey, they had a different swagger to them. They come up to the line of scrimmage, and you can just tell, hey, and they're just like this GW team. They weren't afraid to sling it down the field every other play.
Patriots teeing things up as we're nearing closer to the end of the third quarter and a running clock in the fourth. Kickoff is muffed by Hindman, but he'll bring it over to the near side now of the field, trying to cut back, and he's met by a couple of Patriot players, Velatombi and Giacomo in on the stop.
Yeah, after that drop, I think he thought maybe they were going to blow the play dead. He's like, wait a minute, I got to run with this.
1.8 seconds left still here in this third quarter.
Now here's the game in double way I like tomorrow night, too, up in the Panhandle. We're at Oak Glen. I mean, that's as up in the top part, northern part of the state as you can go. And those two teams, playoff teams in double A, and Oak Glen, a lot of people looking for them to come back and do some special things. And
if I recall correctly, that game is being played at Brook High School, correct?
I'm not sure about that. That's something we'll have to check on, but that's a score I want to watch tomorrow night. You can catch all the statewide scores in real time at rsnsports.com, our website, on the ScoreStream scoreboard. We're the most up-to-date, accurate, and to-the-minute scoreboards anywhere.
Final play of the fourth quarter, a handoff right up the middle, gains the Red Dragons nearly 5 yards.
Hey, here's a rivalry down in Coal Country, West Side at Wyoming East. That'll be an interesting one to watch that too. That's got student sections written all over it.
That brings our third quarter to a close, which was brought to you by Parmar Stores here on Game Day, presented by HD Media on the RSN Sports Network. We'll be right back after this short break for the fourth and final quarter of action between GW and St. Albans.
What started as the Parmar Oil Company in 1967 has grown into 116 convenience stores in 4 states. Parmar convenience stores offer monthly product specials and grab-and-go items. Located just down the street from where you live, Parmar stores are all about being your above-par convenience store. If you don't have a Parmar store near you now, you will soon. Parmar Convenience Stores, neighbors serving your community and making life a little bit easier every day.
In the history of Dutch Miller Ram, there has never been a better time to trade in your car. Because of major supply chain disruptions, your vehicle is worth more than it ever has been. Even if you're not looking to trade in your car, we're interested in buying your vehicle at up to 30% above fair market value. We have customers trading in their vehicles that are getting more now than they paid for it. Learn more and text or chat now at DutchMillerRam.com.
Come in today for the Make This the Summer event and get friends and family pricing for everyone.
Back here at Crawford's Field for the fourth quarter, which is presented to you by Army Recruiting of West Virginia. Fantastic guys there at the Army Recruiting Center. I mean, they're absolute characters there. And they have to be in the recruiting business for the Army. I mean, they love their job more than almost anybody I've ever met.
Those guys will be out with us when we're tailgating. They'll come out and hang out with the students, and we just hang out. Hot dogs, cornhole tosses. Like I said, they've got the T-shirt machines, and they've got the fun. And even if it's not game night, we go down there sometimes and hang out at the recruiting office. They have one there in the Riverwalk Plaza in South Charleston and one in the Huntington Barboursville Mall. And we just have a good time anytime we're there. We'll go live there with them and talk about things. And those guys, they are a blast.
Peyton Brown trying to find his intended target of Hindman there. Pass falls incomplete. That'll bring up fourth down. As, again, we are on a rolling clock here in the fourth quarter, so the clock will only stop for scores and for injuries and timeouts. Don't forget, here at the end of the fourth quarter, we'll have our play of the game brought to you by the Webb Law Center. And we'll also have our player of the game brought to you by Chick-fil-A Southridge.
We were talking earlier. I've got something in mind.
Yeah.
This might be a little tricky.
I got something in mind, too. If we can get out of here a little bit, I might go up to Chick-fil-A Southridge and get me a sandwich. Punt is away, and sack coming up on. He's going to back off of it, though, and it'll be down by the Red Dragons at the Patriot 47-yard line.
You know, you're talking about Chick-fil-A Southridge. If anybody can run their business, if anybody can run their offense, like they run a drive-through, it's just amazing how efficient they are.
Well, and with Chick-fil-A Southridge, too, they've got the mobile food truck that they take out to places around the Kanawha Valley. I mean, they do it all. It's not just the service there at Southridge. They've got that food truck that'll bring it to you just about anywhere.
Tom Minturn, the owner-manager up there, and just a great individual, talking about great guys. He's a great individual. Goes out. They do a lot. They do a lot of donations, helping groups out, raise money. Just anytime we needed help in Special Olympics, they're the first to step up and help with the special needs kids. It's a great group of people.
Patriots back out on offense. We're going to see a quarterback change now. Noah Velatombi in at quarterback for the GW offense. He'll hand it off the middle to Haston Pinkerton. Pinkerton met at the line of scrimmage, spins, and maybe picks up a yard after the contact. But we were talking about for St. Albans, again, the scoreboard I wouldn't say is as reflective of the effort put out by the Red Dragons tonight. 49-0 looks really bad, and I think it looks worse than it really is.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and say we're probably, with George Washington here, everything I see, looking at least a Final Four team in AAA. And that's a tough order to go up against if you're St. Albans out of the gate here and you're trying to reestablish some momentum for your school.
Toss sweep out to Sack on 2nd down and 9. He'll get up across the 45-yard line.
And speaking of George Washington, and there in the first half, you were speaking about Ryan Switzer, formerly playing there, and just saw last week he's actually been picked up by the Cleveland Browns.
Well, unfortunately, he just announced a couple of days ago now that he's going to be out for the season. Had an ankle injury. Unfortunately, suffered a season-ending ankle injury, trying to get back after sitting out last year because he and his wife had a brand-new baby last year, wanted to take the year off as a COVID precaution and be with his family, make certain they were healthy.
And I don't recall the particular issue, but the baby had a lot of health issues.
Mm-hmm.
They really needed a lot of prayer last year. So understandable why he took that time off.
So, unfortunately for him, he was just getting back into it, had been signed by the Browns, had a touchdown in one of their preseason games, and unfortunately messed his ankle up. And
I was
worse
working there.
I think he has had the surgery now, or will be having it soon.
Caught a touchdown pass in the scrimmage that same week, and then has the injury all in the same week. And what a tough break.
Yeah.
But,
hopefully he can get recovered and get recuperated and be ready to go, potentially to make another run and come back at it for next year. Because Ryan Switzer definitely brought a lot of eyes to the state of West Virginia when it comes to recruiting at the next level for college.
I think so. That was one of those. I know that Dana Holgerson would have liked to have had back.
If he could go back in time, he'd put a little bit more effort in.
Right, he did not. He did not put much serious effort in recruiting Ryan Switzer that season earlier. He came in late in the game once he found out. I think other big schools were after him, but at that point, it was too late. And a lot of people think that Ryan chose those schools over WVU, but that wasn't the case. Those schools recruited Ryan Switzer over WVU.
Correct.
And West Virginia, Dana Holgerson, the coach at the time, allowed that to happen.
And unfortunately, that's what had been the case with a lot of guys that had a ton of talent here in this state, had been overlooked by West Virginia and even by Marshall there for a while.
The good news is, Adam, Neil Brown came in, and this is not going to happen anymore. And he made a point that, hey, if you're in West Virginia, you got D1 talent, we're coming after you.
Yeah, Doc Holliday did a pretty good job, I would say, and had a lot of walk-ons that were in-state kids, gave a handful of scholarships to to in-state kids as well. But I think you're seeing the talent here in West Virginia. That
it's
magnification is right on top of us now, because you can't overlook, after seeing what Ryan Switzer's done and then a couple of other guys that have come and gone from the state to other places and have been successful.
And not to be any less involved, Coach Huff has come into Huntington at Marshall and reiterated the same thing. Mm-hmm. Hey, you're here, I'm coming after you.
Yeah, his philosophy is, I don't care who's recruiting you. If we think you're a good fit for our program, we're going to go after you no matter what your star is, who's got offers out on you, we're going to come for the best guy we think for our program. And there's a lot of guys here in this state that could get picked up by some of these teams. Just over 5 minutes now after, again, this rolling clock here in the fourth quarter, because GW leads by 35 points or more when we entered the fourth quarter. Now, if St. Albans were at any point in this time to cut within 35 and cut that deficit down to less than that, I believe the clock does go back to normal. But
that's great for you to explain that to the
yeah,
fans at
yeah,
home,
so
right?
Important things
wait
to
a minute,
know.
the clock's running. They didn't stop the clock.
Important things for our fans to know.
Always said when announcing basketball, nobody pays attention to the clock operator until the last minute of play. And if you get it wrong, then you're in trouble.
We appreciate all of you out there watching tonight on the RSN Sports Network, powered by HD Media, our Game Day platform.
All right, yeah. HD Media, those guys, Doug Scaff, Doug Reynolds, fantastic here. Business partnership with RSN Sports, and says you're going to see some great things here moving forward this fall. We're just getting started, and more penalties on the field.
After a great run by Peyton Calder.
Hey, I tell you what, we got a break here.
That.
Let's talk. We got player of the game here to pick up, and
player of the game presented by Chick-fil-A Southridge. Dana, putting you on the spot. We talked about it. Are you going with what we talked about?
I'm going to stick with it. I mean,
all right,
because the second half just played out was what it was, and we've seen a lot of big plays, especially from quarterbacks and receivers from George Washington. But there's one guy that's just, I think in the first half, was just a factor on both sides of the ball. That especially for George Washington, on the ground, anywhere he was, and you want to make the call?
I'll let you do the favor, the pleasure of announcing our player of the game.
GW senior, number 78, Anthony Casto, the big guy.
He was definitely a player to watch coming into today's game, and you're right. He has made an impact on both sides of the ball tonight. Offensively, reestablishing the line of scrimmage for the GW offense. 3, 4, 5, 6 yards deep into the secondary of St. Albans.
Now, here's the thing.
Defensively, he's been reestablishing at the opposite.
He's 6'4", 285 pounds, okay? Now, Jerry Briggs, marketing director at HD Media, messaged me, and he said, hey, you want to get there? We're going to come up to the school and do a presentation, and he gets a T-shirt. I'm not sure about this T-shirt thing.
I hope we can get him a size that fits so he can wear it proudly.
So they've got to come up there and come up with a T-shirt that size. I think we put him in a pickle.
Yeah, so he definitely made an impact offensively and defensively in this ball game tonight. And as a former offensive lineman, it always makes me proud.
I knew you couldn't go against me. I knew you couldn't go against me.
I know it always makes me proud when a big man gets some love.
Well, he's a factor.
Anthony Casto definitely deserves all the love and attention that he gets because he is a primetime player for this Patriot squad.
If he isn't getting attention, he's another one of those that needs to be getting attention right now. He's a factor. He has changed the game in the first half.
And he was an honorable mention All-State last year. I'm sure he'll be first or second team All-State this year.
Well, speaking of game changers, what do you? Let's look back. We talked at halftime about key turning point play of the game. Oh, flags are flying everywhere on the side. Good thing the clock's running. Coach Edwards in the middle of it. Not that he did anything. We got cramps, flags, coaches swirling down there. It's clock's running.
We got it all here tonight, folks.
All right, give me a play.
Play of the game. Obviously, I mean, you would think I would lean to Kyle Matthews, right? You'd think that. Had the interception to start off the game on the opening offensive play for St. Albans. Gets a 22-yard touchdown run. Right after that, immediately puts GW up 7-0.
He's the Tim Riggins of GW.
You know, yeah, I would love to give it to him because
there's our boy.
But I would have to say, as we take a great look at Anthony Casto talking to one of his wide receiver pals, Teran Fitzpatrick, I'm going to have to go with the freshman making a touchdown grab. Tyshawn Dews, number 2, the freshman wide receiver for the Patriots, made a fantastic catch on a 50-yard pass from Abe Fenwick. That really put the game out of reach for GW. At that point, it was 28-0. And, I mean, it had all been GW to that point, but that really just extended it that much further.
Sealed the deal. Icing on the cake.
So, and for him, had a big game in his first time out in varsity action for the Patriots as a true freshman. Say true freshman. It's not college. We're not talking about red shirts here. We don't have 6th and 7th year high school players this year.
But you don't see many freshmen out on the field.
That's very true.
At the AAA level, especially because GW has a freshman team.
Yeah, it's a very, very, very youthful team for GW this year. We mentioned just 46 players on the roster in general for the Patriots. Very highly unusual for GW to have that few players.
So some of them have to double up duties, JV, freshman team, and varsity. You know, we jinxed ourselves that the clock was going to run, but it could not withstand 5 flags flying around out there at one time.
Yeah, they had to discuss everything with, I believe, some unsportsmanlike conducts.
As we see here, hopefully, there we go.
Now they start the clock up again.
It's the time we want to thank our sponsors again, Dutch Miller Auto Group, Thomas Health System, hey, Ryan Yearley and Dan Loffer, CEO over there at Thomas Health, great guys, and they run a great system here in Kanawha Valley. Your first choice in healthcare in Kanawha County.
Villatombi makes a nice run out on the near side, breaks out of a couple would-be tackles, and is finally forced out of bounds around the 20-yard line. Nice 10-yard pickup there.
Just thank Ben Salango. Ben, hey, what he doesn't do for sports here in the Kanawha Valley and helping lead the direction getting the Shawnee Sports Complex together in Institute. Poca Valley Bank, we talked about those guys, personal bankers if you want it. Frontier Communications, you're going to hear a lot more about them. They just came on board this morning. So we said, hey, we're going to mention you out there, but we got some big things coming. Frontier is dropping millions and millions of dollars in high-speed fiber cable in West Virginia. I know sometime in the past they've had some bad rap, but what we're going to use is BFS. You know what that stands for, bigger, faster, and stronger. And in sports, that means everything. And in communications and broadband, I think Frontier is going to be your BFS, bigger, faster, stronger. Army recruiting, we talked about those guys. Adelphia Sports Bar, we're going to be over there next Wednesday for the show. We'll have to come by. It's going to be a lot of fun over there, COVID permitting. I think as of right now, we have the Capitol cheerleaders coming down, the Capitol Drum Corps, I think. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Tays Physical Therapy, Webb Law, and it's like we're winding down here. Adam?
Yeah, Patriots won't have to snap it because there's about a second difference between the game clock and the play clock. So that'll bring us to a close here at Crawford Field. An easy win for the Patriots, but Patriots definitely showed they were the better team tonight from the opening play to the final whistle tonight.
And not just a better team. As I said, and I'll stand by, they look like a top 4 Final Four football team, AAA here in West Virginia. There's our man.
Yeah, our player of the game brought to you by Chick-fil-A Southridge, Anthony Casto, one of the seniors and one of the captains for this team, leading the team through the handshake line with St. Albans. Great show of sportsmanship after tonight's game.
All right, Adam, we're going to see you and your partner tomorrow evening at Nitro, just across the river here for Poca at Nitro.
Yep, Will Vance, my college roommate, former teammate for GW, will be joining me on the broadcast. He'll hopefully join me throughout the rest of the season as well, barring any unforeseen circumstances. But if tonight's any indication for what we're in store for on our broadcast with our group of crew here, I'm excited about the rest of the season, and I'm ready to get going tomorrow once again, Dana.
Right, so fans, just stay with WVGazette.com and the sports page. The links will be right up there. It should automatically pop in there tomorrow. And if not, go to rsnsports.com. We should have the links there as well. And not only those games, we'll have syndication of Parkersburg and Huntington tomorrow night. Should have Braxton County at Lincoln, as well as a couple other games here. So that's your game zone, game day. It's here with HD Media and RSN Sports.
Big thanks to our crew down doing the game pregame earlier. Thanks for having me on. Carl and Lisa, you guys do a fantastic job as always.
Thanks to Dan Shreve and the Media Center for the production tonight and the fantastic camera work here you see.
And thank you, our viewers, our supporters. We appreciate you more than you know. Truly, more than you know, we appreciate you watching this broadcast. We hope that you join us tomorrow night for Poca and Nitro. And again, every week as we have more high school football in the Mountain State to bring you. That'll do it for us here at Crawford Field. Patriots win 49-0 here in the opener of 2021 for high school football in the Mountain State. For Dana Farrell, I'm Adam Rogers and the rest of the crew. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow in Nitro.
In the history of Dutch Miller Subaru, there has never been a better time to trade in your car. Because of major supply chain disruptions, your vehicle is worth more than it ever has been. Even if you're not looking to trade in your car, we're interested in buying your vehicle at up to 30% above fair market value. We have customers trading in their vehicles that are getting more now than they paid for it. Learn more and text or chat now at DutchMillerSubaru.com.
Ask about 0% financing on select models and get friends and family pricing for everyone.
What started as the Parmar Oil Company in 1967 has grown into 116 convenience stores in 4 states. Parmar convenience stores offer monthly product specials and grab-and-go items. Located just down the street from where you live, Parmar stores are all about being your above-par convenience store. If you don't have a Parmar store near you now, you will soon. Parmar convenience stores, neighbors serving your community and making life a little bit easier every day.
In the history of Dutch Miller Kia, there has never been a better time to trade in your car. Because of major supply chain disruptions, your vehicle is worth more than it ever has been. Even if you're not looking to trade in your car, we're interested in buying your vehicle at up to 30% above fair market value. We have customers trading in their vehicles that are getting more now than when they paid for it. Learn more and text or chat now at KiaWV.com.
For a limited time, get a brand new 2022 Sportage starting at just $189 a month.